created everything. Look what a powerful being you are. You did these things, but now you're in a human body, you forget the power you have.
What you do is what the whole universe is doing at the place you call here and now. You are something the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is something that the whole ocean is doing.
You're doing it.
Doing what?
Using your imagination.
Welcome to Meta Mystics, where you don't know what you don't know. I forgot the other intro. Welcome to the show. This is the live show. My name's Jonathan.
I'm Sean.
And this is Wonder Wiz Day. We have a very special guest tonight, Destiny, aka Zivich. Not to be confused with a B. That's a double V, by the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Destiny, you are somebody that actually, you're one of the first really deeper spiritual kind of witchy, tarot-y people that I've ever really been accompanied with. And you gave me a crazy tarot reading, I don't know, what was that, 4 or 5 years, probably 5 years ago now. And
the time that passed, that kind of trips me out a little bit.
I know. Yeah, it's it was one of those that really has stuck with me to this day. And really, really insightful. So I mean, you're the best. That's why we wanted to have you on. And it's been far too long. I'm not going to lie. But tonight's the night.
Way longer than it needed to be.
Right.
Well, we're glad we finally got you on here. And also, we have Dr. Evil in the chat, it looks like. Or not in the chat, I'm sorry, but in the live here.
Shout out to Kyle.
That's a first.
Shout out to Kyle. What up, Kyle? White Boy Wizard said, I need me a witch. Hopefully there's a witch who needs a white boy wizard out there somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. I'm almost certain of it.
Yeah,
dude. Hard to find.
Yeah,
How do I find you?
If you find you some crystals up along the sidewalk, you'll catch one.
Yeah, I got plenty of those. I got plenty of them. I'm putting them out tomorrow, first thing.
And he's like, catch me a little witch, shake some herbs in a jar. Oh, she'll come.
Oh, dude.
Do some witch bells. Oh, she'll be there.
If I'm not waking up to the smell of sage burning,
that's
the wrong one.
Burning some sage, follow the scent.
Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, I mean, Destiny, just out of curiosity, what really got you into this, especially living down in the deep south? Just I'm sure you were kind of a black sheep of your time around your people. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Everybody thought I was worshiping Satan and whatnot. I'm like, no, I don't believe in him, but okay. But whatever. I mean, it's a complex belief system that I have. It's really crazy, but what got me into it initially, so my mom used to practice, but she doesn't do that anymore. She kind of reverted back to religion. But so I always believed in it, right? And I did practice, like I said, when I was younger, but I was young and I didn't really have anybody to properly teach me because I wasn't going through my mom to learn. She was the inspiration behind it. But whenever it was I had a friend of mine that I had been known for 10 years or so. And we kind of reconnected on Facebook and we got close. We went on a date and he ended up dying 2 weeks after that. And that kind of shifted the gear. You know what I'm saying? It really set the tone, the mood for grief will do a lot to you. And things were happening around me that I just could not explain. I'm like the grippy socks. That's what's coming for me. I see that in my future. I'm not a psychic at the time, but I was I see the grippy socks, the good meds, and a white bouncy room is coming for me. And I was telling my friend about it and whatever, because I was experiencing a lot of stuff that involved the guy who died. And I kind of swan dived after that. I ended up meeting a psychic a month to the day after his death. And she confirmed everything. She was okay, so I have this vividly, it's burned in my brain. And I have it recorded on a memo on my iPad. And I had told my friend Shelby in confidence and in privacy. I was like, dude, I hear him a lot. And it's not like, oh, that's probably the grief talking. No, like I'm reacting to him, but it's in here. And I'm like, not sure how, I didn't understand. And she had her eyes closed, okay, while I'm in the session. I'm like staring at her, but I have Shelby, or I have like both of them kind of in peripheral when I'm going back and forth. But I'm like mouthing to her because my ears started ringing. And then right afterwards, I had gotten like goosebumps, like the biggest goosebumps I'd ever had. And I was like, Shelby, mouthing to her, I'm like, I can hear the ringing again, and the medium Leanne, she's great, by the way. She reacted in real time. She goes, oh, that's him. He says, that's me talking in your ear. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm getting chills now. And then the goosebumps happened and I did the same thing. I'm like, Shelby, look. And she goes, real time. I'm watching her. She's like, he says, that's me touching you. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's real. It's all really, it's real. Okay, cool. We're panicking, but this is like a good panic, And after that, I kind of just, when I tell you, not only did I deep dive down this rabbit hole, I became the rabbit hole. Like, I'm one with that rabbit hole. And I just kind of went in ever since. And I began to experience a lot of things, working with the craft and experiencing it working, manifestation, all that stuff. And it's like, it's crazy to me. It's like, I can understand why people think it's not real, because that's how we were born. And like, we were born to believe, or force fed the information that, oh, it's not real, it's make believe, it's only stuff in like Hollywood. But that's what they want you to think, because if you're too powerful, then how can they control you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole
100%.
issue with
And
that.
that's growing up, and I would see magical shows like Harry Potter, or just magical kind of stuff like that, and you would always see magic coming out of the magician's wand, or some kind of
Right.
bolt of lightning, or some energy that is very clear, and it was always awesome colors and everything, and clearly that wasn't real, but you wanted
Well,
it to be
right,
real, you know?
no, kind of. Like, okay, and people can laugh at me all they want for this. It's not like that, but I have seen orbs of color fly out of my hand before.
Really?
And yeah, like, I didn't catch the actual orbs on video, but I caught my reaction. And it's on my TikTok, actually. But my boyfriend, he said that he was coming home from work one night when we were living, I don't remember where we were living at, but he said he came in and he saw two colors, orbs, I think orange and purple, fly out of my head and into the TV. It was weird. Like, so it's not off.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
To
mean, it's just not as fantastical to the eyes for the most part, is what I'm
no,
trying to say. It's not.
not
It's
in
not to
this
say that.
realm.
Right. It's not to say that it's not happening. I mean, fuck's sake, we only have access to 0.0003% of the light spectrum, or whatever it is. So very well could be that shit is coming out of wands and out of hands and out of heads and all that kind of stuff, right? But
Right.
that's
I would
just the
like
physical
more of
makeup
that,
of it.
but like more of that shwoo stuff, but unfortunately in this prison planet we don't get that kind of luxury.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you really fascinated me with your ability to look at tarot cards, oracle cards, and really just get like an amazing message. And just out of curiosity, like, how did you start to learn about the tarot cards? Like, what was it? I mean, like, did you just do it like most people? Like, cups means emotions because it's water, and sword equals wind. You know what I mean? Like, what was your thing? Like,
Right.
how did you get it?
So I don't learn like normal people do. I cannot sit down and study something and it stick in my head. Like, I'm a kinesthetic learner, but I like to use other ways and tools to learn. So my best learn and this is probably so Scorpio coded for my like life, but I'm a learn by experience kind of person. Like, I need to like hands on, like go through it. So I kind of would do it as I went. And the more I did it, the more I was, it was sticking, so I'm like, okay, this means this. And oh, well, let me check my book. And I want to preface it. I want to add this like side note that's so freaking important. Like, whoever wants to learn tarot, like, because everybody has the ability to learn tarot. Because I used to be fascinated with tarot readers. I'm like, how do they do it? Psychics
Mhm.
too. How do they do it? And like, I still to this day, I've been reading for, 5 years now, and I still sometimes have to reference my book because I'll have a brain fart because, hi, human, like, I
Hmm.
have, like, my flaws, but, um, like, for the most part, it's over time, it just kinda starts sticking with you, but you have to, like, understand, like, that you are, like, in sync with your tarot cards, like, that spirit, using this divination tool to guide you with these answers, so not second guessing yourself is probably, like, major because I'm
Hmm.
the worst at second guessing, like, I will overthink, but they don't want you to do that, so once you kinda get that down on top of, like, just picking it up as you go, however it works for you to learn, then run with that, don't let anybody tell you like, this is the only way to do it, because then,
Hmm.
1, they're not really in the right confines of spirituality, that's not the point, you don't shame people
Hmm.
for how they learn how to use divination tools, um, and also with the myth of the myth of, you can't buy your own tarot cards is BS, by the way, because if you don't have anybody else to buy them for you, Imma spoil myself, let me get
Yeah.
plus, if you are not vibing with that deck, then it's
Right.
not you gotta follow the vibe and stuff, and just go
Hmm.
with the flow.
Not going to
Easier said
connect
than
as
done, it
well.
takes practice, but it works for the most
Right.
part.
It's not like you could force somebody into gifting them to you. You know what I mean? Like,
No. I mean, I wouldn't recommend putting like, twisting their arm or putting a pew pew to their head or anything, but,
pew
you
pew.
can insist, like, and be like, "What do you want for Christmas?" Well, a deck would be nice. This deck particularly, like, because 'cause I'm picky with my tarot. I'm very picky with my tarot deck.
What deck do you use actually?
I use the Witch's Tarot.
The
This is my
Witch's Tarot.
favorite deck. Actually, you can see how worn it is, like, it's falling apart. Even the cards are falling apart, and I used to have the pocket deck, and it got lost in, like, the many times that I've moved, but I wanna get, like, another pocket deck because, like, I have, like, problems with my hands sometimes, so if it's, like, a lot that I have to hold, it'll hurt my hands, so pocket deck is, like, perfect. Like,
Awesome.
but
Well, we
in
do a tarot card reading. No, and it's just a one card pool, but maybe you can do that for us tonight at the
Oh,
end of the show.
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
freaking
I
awesome.
I'm expecting to, like,
Awesome.
so I've
The
gotta
floor
get
will
in
be
the business
yours.
somehow, right?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's so awesome too because they usually sync right up with the show. Like every single time. It's like, we'll do a tarot reading at the end of every show and it is spot fucking on every time and you're
Oh,
like, what is really going on? And I'm sorry, like I don't believe in we're coming up on episode 300 already, Sean. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I was not aware of this.
Yeah, we got
I
like
like it.
five more episodes.
congratulations.
We got like five more
That's
episodes
awesome.
till 300,
Nice.
and it's like we've done damn near three or till 300 rather. It's like we got five more episodes until we've done this 300 times.
Oh my
And
god, dude.
every single reading is all. Some are more on than others. Like some of them are more like, oh my god,
Mind
mind
blowing.
absolutely blown. But usually they're all pretty much in sync. And so, how many times does it need to be a coincidence for you to start to believe in it? It's kind of one of those
So,
things.
what are your thoughts as far as that goes? As far as like how do you think the tarot is working? Is it your inner world reflecting into the outer world? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well,
As
for
far as
me,
being able
like,
to pull up a reading and kind of get some good information off of it.
well, I guess it kinda depends on the person's, like, I don't know, like, that's a really good question, actually. So, I guess it would depend on, 1, the police system really does help, but it's like, okay, there we go. It's also what somebody's willing to admit about themselves or
Mm,
what's going on in their life, because I've had people where I've done readings and I'm so confident in my readings because I very rarely miss. And when I miss, it's always because they're not admitting to something that's really going on or something shifted in the timeline, which is why I always put that in my spiel that you have free will. You have the option to change how your fate's gonna, play out.
mhm,
And so, I mean, so it could change and it may not come to fruition. But as far as the trajectory goes, from what I'm reading in current energy, this is the path it's headed. So if you don't like it, then change it. But if somebody doesn't want to admit what's going on in their life,
mhm.
like, is a big thing. So For example, I read for a friend, and I love her to pieces. This is no shade on her, but and like I said, I'm very confident in my readings. So if I'm telling you like this is what's going on, and they're like, no, everything's fine. I'm like, no, this is going on. Spirit's very loud about it. I pulled on it. I can pull again. The same cards are going to pull, like regardless. Spirit will scream it at you 1,000 times. If you choose to listen, that's on you. But don't complain if you're not listening, and you're getting the same results and stuff like that, but you're refusing to acknowledge the problem and fixing the problem.
Right.
So I was pulling 3 of Swords, which is typically the heartbreak card, cheating. And I was like, I hate to say this, but your husband's like not being faithful to you. And there's another woman. And the other woman is scary. She wants to be you. It's, dare I say, damn near want to be like in your meat suit, want to be you.
Oh my
Like,
God.
because you have, yeah, it was scary. I was like, you need to watch out. I don't know who this woman is. You may not know her. You might know her, but you don't know, like, how well she knows you, and she wants the title of wife. She wants to be you because she finds you to be prettier than her. She finds you attractive. She wants to embody your essence. So watch out for destiny swapping, like, so be careful. But she's like, no, me and my husband are good. He would never. I'm like, okay, like, I'll do another reading for you, but like, I'll ask for different information, but if Spirit presses on about it, I can't, I can't tell Spirit, like, this is not what they want to talk about. Because I've had instances where I'm like, Spirit, could we not bring this up? Because that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be in the middle of this. It's too close to home, like neighbors or something. They're like, we don't give a shit. Like, 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, like, cheating. And this is with somebody and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, see, I can see, like, as you were saying, as far as like people denying something, I can understand that if it's like something to do with themselves, whether it's their shadow that they're kind of not really wanting to deal with at the moment, and if they only dealt with the shadow, then they can prevent whatever thing you're trying to tell them. But when it comes to you telling them about somebody else, it's like there's nothing they can do to prevent that from happening, I would think,
They'll have an equal problem with both, especially within themselves, but especially somebody they don't want to see as like, oh, this person would never hurt me. I'm like, clearly you've never been hurt enough, like to realize that anybody will hurt you, so it's mainly the ones closest to you that'll do it. So it's like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's literally my purpose and my job to be the messenger, regardless of what the message is. But it's for your growth. It's part of your spiritual contract, and if you want to continue the karmic loop, that's on you. That's why free will is a thing.
Well, what's so interesting about that is that how you were able to look at a couple of paper cards and determine that her husband was cheating on her and be right about it. Like, just out of curiosity, like, what cards would, if you got that kind of reading? You said that there was like swords mentioned, and that's usually in that direction.
So if I'm doing tarot, and especially if it's like, it can be one card as simple as just the 3 of Swords. But if there's like a combination of cards, like 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, the Lovers reverse, 2 of Cups reverse. I know I'm missing a couple here. If you have like maybe any of the kings, especially like the King of Wands in reverse and stuff like that, or the Knight of Wands, that's typically like player F-boy energy. Like all the knights are very immature energy. Or if they pop up and then another combo pops up, like when I was reading for a potential pregnancy at some point for actually myself, all the cards for pregnancy came out. And in my book it says if the Empress, obviously the Empress pops out, she's pregnant, but it doesn't always have to mean a child. Now, but if like 2 of the aces pop out, the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups pop out together, and the 4 of Wands pop out together, you're pregnant. Like, baby, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's a child coming.
Wow.
And I actually had a pregnancy scare, and I had like, it was weird, like I was pregnant, but like It was more like the baby was trying to come in energetically and prepare me to be pregnant because I was having all the symptoms. My cycle was acting up. I was genuinely having pregnancy symptoms, and I was in denial. I was like, I'm not pregnant. I don't want to be pregnant. No, thank you. Like, I'm good. I'll pass. Like, I'm good. Just swerve on it. Like, double it and give it to the next person. Like, I'm good. Don't. But and then it was the spirit box was telling me I was pregnant. They were like, you're pregnant, you're pregnant, you're pregnant. I had my boyfriend under Estes, and he was like, you're pregnant. They said that loud. And they were like, you're having a son. Da, 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 da. Like, it was getting real. And I was like, oh my God, I was making appointments. But I even had a positive-ish pregnant, like it was a faint positive, but it was a positive pregnancy test. And I was like, I've never done that before. I've had scares, instantly negative. This one was positive. And I was like, okay, so this might be real. And I went to the doctor's appointment, like, I waited a little longer than I probably should have just because everything was so weird. And I ended up not being pregnant in the long run. And Spirit's like, we had to, he renegotiated. I know this is going to sound crazy to some people, but he renegotiated his contract because of the timing wasn't right. Y'all have to be in a different, like, not only mindset, but things need to be more peaceful in your life because when the kids, and I'm like, plural? Which means kids. So it's supposed to be a boy and then a girl, but they have to come in and it's going to be a time of peace, not chaos. So the timing was wrong.
Wow.
And my period is still acting up. Like normally, and I'm not trying to get too into it, but it does make a lot of the story. My cycle has always been boom, set, same thing since it regulated at a certain age, where it was like a normal set and then going from there. I was like, all right, 5 days, heavy, painful. Got it. Now it's 3 days and it was very light, like period, huh? Funny. But now it's still at 3 days. So it literally was energetic enough so heavily that it knocked my cycle into a weird flow. Like it was so weird. So yeah. But
Look,
I have
we would
windows
not
of potential pregnancy coming.
We would not be talking to a witch if we were not talking about blood magic. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to have to go there.
Right. Oh, and that's crazy too. Bringing that up. You know how people, when they do blood magic and they'll have to take it, for the painful way. Why? That's actually more low vibrational because there's pain involved. In a sense, you're forcing that pain. What I have to go through is natural. Is it painful? Yes, but it's just expected. Now, if that's natural blood coming out, it's more high vibrational, in my opinion. And I've gotten confirmation on it. Like, it's more potent magically to use a woman's, but you have to obviously have her consent. If you take it from her, that's not going to work well for you. But like, if she's willingly giving it to you or using it in her workings and stuff, like, very, very potent magic.
Yeah, I would imagine
that.
I feel like I would imagine that you would have to have an agreement there if you're going to be working. Let's say, I don't know, your boyfriend, let's say you guys decide to get a little weird with some blood magic or whatever, but your boyfriend takes it from you and you don't know about it or takes it against your will, just in a hypothetical situation. I would imagine that, like, somewhere along the lines, maybe quantum entangly, that substance would not work as well in a magical spell, right? Like,
it would be a kickback. It would be you want your magic to go this way, your intent to go this way, it's going to go this way. It's either not going to work, but I think if you're using blood magic, you're going to get a response. So karma, essentially, but it's going to go like astray. So kind of like how I feel like, I don't know why I guess Spirit's like making me use this excuse because they want the message out there too. But they're like doing a love spell, right? I will never recommend anyone doing a love spell because you're messing with somebody's free will. Like, that's not okay. And if anybody's seen The Craft and they know like how Sarah did that, and that guy, and he went psycho on her and was obsessed, like, that's what you're gonna get. But what I recommend, do a soulmate spell to find your soulmate. That brings them to you instead of you effing around with somebody's free will.
Wow.
So
somebody that was going to end up with you anyways. You're kind of just speeding up the process.
Chose to, like, work your way to meet your soulmate, because not everybody's going to meet their soulmate in this lifetime because they choose to stay in their shadow side. They choose to not heal. So, or do the work to get there. Like if you stay in a toxic relationship and you refuse to leave that relationship, how are you ever going to meet your soulmate? You know what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense.
Now, if spirit wants you to be with that person and there's like a purpose and just shit needs to be done in this realm and this time, we need this to shift forward so this baby can be born and this can happen, then we're going to split them apart on like whether she likes it or not. Divine intervention, and we're going to make her leave this person so we can move things along. We've got shit to do. Like you know what I'm saying? So some people's purpose is I don't want to say grander than others. Some people just have a different vibration, I guess is a good way to put it, of purpose that's more God, I'm trying to say it without saying like it's not more important, but it's
Impactful.
I guess. It's energetically this needs to be done like now. So it's not something that can be put on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? Like these things need to be done. Like this is a must to. We have a time frame. We have a
Time is
timeline,
of the
deadline.
essence.
Yeah, like if we need the greater good to happen or this to flow the right way, then we need to shut it down. So if spirit wants you away from that person, they'll rip it apart. They'll nuke the bridge. You're not returning back to that.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I did a little love spell once upon a time. And I'll be honest with you, I thought that it didn't work. It was actually we did a money spell episode and it worked literally overnight. It was crazy, right? And and then like it was like the episode after that or a couple episodes after that, we did a love spell episode, right? And I ended up doing a love spell and I followed all the steps. I set my intention. I meditated on the I think I put it inside of a bowl. It's like usually some sugar, some water, and some other things that you put it up on a windowsill, whatever, right? And I left that bowl up on that windowsill for I think like 3 months because I'm like, all right, if I empty it out, it's not gonna work. So lo and behold, I go and I went to go empty it because I was like, it ain't gonna happen. You know, if it was gonna happen, it would have happened already. It's been up there for 3-4 months now, whatever.
Was it emptying it is what set it off because you let it out?
Well, it was literally like 2 months after I emptied it out that person came around. And
so that's because when you had it in the jar, you were holding it in.
Oh.
You were containing that spell. When you release it and give it back to the earth, then it's able to grow. You know, it's like planting a seed into the earth and then letting it grow. But if you keep that seed in a jar, is it going to grow? No, it's not going to grow.
Not very fruitful. Yeah. Well, I will. And just to say, like to agree with you that you shouldn't be doing love spells because that wasn't what I was hoping to happen. You know, I mean, I'm not going to go into detail or anything, but there was no happy ending.
Did the relationship not be like what you were what you were intending it for it to be? Was it more toxic?
It was pretty toxic, yeah. I mean, and I think that most people in your minds, like, you're always going to imagine some kind of fantastical version of reality, especially, you know, if you're in love and you're hoping that love works out. And it's like not to sound lame or whatever, but I've been watching Love is Blind and man, like, of course that shit's never going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just so funny.
I've never seen it, but I'd imagine. I agree. I'll agree with you though.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that there are definitely some spells out there that absolutely work though. Like that money spell absolutely worked. And I think that, I mean, sex magic definitely works.
Yeah, definitely. Like, what I will recommend if you're going to do the love spell, do it for yourself.
Good idea.
A love spell for you, you know? So
self-love.
You can, exactly. Cause that's another way that'll bring you to your person is like pouring that back into yourself because like if your mental health is not in the right like headspace, if you're not, you know, if you don't have self-confidence and you don't love yourself and you're not showing yourself that you're the baddest bitch on the block, you know, then you deserve like top quality love, then you're only going to find spouses that treat you the way that you feel about yourself. So it manifests. Like people don't realize how they manifest on a regular basis. Damn near everything we do is spell work.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. Just speaking is spell work. Like I learned the other day about how there's certain ways that like the English language. I had like this put together and it was Dakota, my boyfriend, he showed me something this guy about how we speak like if we intake certain words are more light than the hard words. So you know how, and this is no offense to anybody that lives up north, so don't take offense. Sorry guys, I love y'all. But you know how they have that really like harsh tone and it's very like short. You know what I'm saying? It's just harsh tone. Well, I figured, and I put all this together at some point, that the way that the English language was set up, you know how if you take someone from a foreign country and you translate into English, it sounds very old world. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So then you add our English language, which kind of like puts these like negative like pieces in it, so the universe does not clock what you're doing. So you can say, oh, I don't want this to happen, and the universe heard everything but that one word that
Right.
flips it on its head. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
instead of what you're manifesting, you get the opposite because the universe didn't catch that one word that you used. I can't remember the exact like details of it, but so the Southern draw, we kind of like have this more flow with it. So that's how it's manifesting. But that the English language is pretty much like stopped you from
Hard
being able to do
stops.
that.
Right. Not
Mhm.
allowing it to resonate
Not at
properly,
all.
basically.
It's
Makes sense.
crazy how when you speak, it's spelling for a reason. It's spell
Mhm.
work. You know, so manifesting, putting it into the universe, saying it out loud, calling it what is it? Speaking it into existence.
Mhm.
That's how that works.
Yeah, it's just calling your shot at that point. And I think that, just out of curiosity, just to throw this out there, because I know that there's going to be people that listen, because we post these episodes on the Cult of Conspiracy too, and there's a lot of religious people that listen over there. So just to throw it out there, whenever you're doing any kind of magic or tarot reading or divining, or whenever you're listening to what you say as spirit, is this anything to do with demons at all?
No, I mean, unless you wanted to.
Exactly.
Like
Of course.
obviously, like okay, so I always hated the phrase, "Oh, it's all demons." That doesn't literally make sense because that's such an imbalance. It's like, okay, we're gonna take a scale, right? And we're gonna put demons versus non-demons, all right? It's just gonna tip it. You know what I'm saying? Off the fucking table. You can't have one without the other. Granted, can demons come on over? Yeah. If you allow it to and you don't protect yourself the right way. But can you imagine? So let's take the people who actually believe that, okay? Let's say that they got put facts in front of them saying it's not demons. Your grandma Esther has really been sitting by you trying to give you information and stuff because they love you, and that's what they're there to do. And you've just been telling grandma Esther, off, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, you're a
could be gone
demon.
demon. And Esther's just like, whatever, like
But
you're
I
just whatever.
loved you, Sean. I loved
But I
you.
loved you, Sean. This whole time I knitted you that sweater.
Get away, demon. All right.
And then
You're
you're
not
just
tricking
trying
me
to
today.
you're throwing salt at them, and grandma is just hitting grandma, and they're just like, what do you want me to do? I mean, I'll leave if you just want me to leave, That's
Yeah. She's like,
but
all those butterscotch candies I gave you.
right.
You're not gonna trust me now.
For real, but it's that to me, it's always been crazy to think like it's just such the imbalance alone, and maybe that's my Libra moon speaking. I don't know, but I just to have so much of one and none of the other. Logically, that just doesn't make sense to me. And if you do that, like I'm sure if you make it a mathematical term too, it wouldn't come out or equate to the right answer either. And I'm bad at math,
100%.
but
That's something
it's
that
just like,
people just love to jump right forward to, that if you're doing anything outside of their beliefs, that of course it's demonic. All the old gods, demonic. The Greek gods, demonic. The Norse gods, demonic. The flying spaghetti monster, he hangs around long enough, demonic. It's like
Absolutely.
these things are
yeah.
crazy, and it's like it's not a logical mind whatsoever.
It's toxic. And then it's okay. Also, too, if all you're saying is demon this, demon that, demon this, guess what you're manifesting?
Mhm.
You're literally calling it to you. And what's so funny is if these people, I'm not trying to go on a tangent here, but it's like, and they can get mad at me all they want, but it's like you really have to sit down and think. Following something so blindly, and they will lead you off a cliff. Like how are you not able to use logic and thinking like, okay, that doesn't make sense. that's contradictory. And if they really started looking into things where it's like all the greatest women in the Bible, they were demonized for being smart, independent, self-thinking women. And it's like you got to really think about like, okay, if they're doing all these things and it's clearly for a position to keep power and fear, you know what I'm saying? Then there's a problem there, because if you really want to sit there and argue, the book of Psalms, nothing but spell work.
100%.
That's all it is spells. All right. They use crystals in the Bible.
That's what the Haitians were using or are using.
Right. They use crystals in the Bible. I've seen one of the things I saw them get. He gave somebody to go around. I don't remember the word for it, but they went around the city and he gave him like lapis lazuli. I don't remember all the other. That was the one that I remember the most. But he adorned him with crystals for all these other properties that they have. And then Jesus, get mad at me all you want. He was a witch. He was a necromancer.
100%. Yeah,
Necromancer.
and
He
you're
brought
talking
the man
about
back to the dead.
the chest plate that had all the different crystals on it.
Exactly. And then the 3 wise men that came to him, they followed a star. Like, come on. It's right there. So why is it okay for them to have people that they seek to interpret their dreams and do all these other predictions, oracles and whatnot? Why was it okay only in the Bible? You're thinking that those are the only times that those kinds of people are going to exist?
You know, and I'm starting to have a little bit more sympathy for people that have those beliefs, and not necessarily trying to judge them so much anymore, because I'm trying to just come from a realm of understanding. It's like, look, if you are a believer of that religion, that's what that religion teaches you. Unfortunately, that is part of it. And, you know, maybe you want to take it all the way. I mean, it goes back way farther than this, but dude, just by looking at the King James Bible and everything that was going on around that time, King James wrote the book on demonology. He was the one
He
that
had
was
a witch in the other tower trying to convert his piss into gold. Or something like that. Or was that, a different story?
Well,
he had a witch in another tower doing some stuff.
Well, it was all about how to hunt a witch and how to spot a witch and throw, you know, tie a millstone to a witch's foot. And if she drowns, then she's not a witch. But hey, she's already dead anyway. But if she comes back up, then she is a witch. And I'm pretty sure that never happened.
Tell me a witch broke your heart without telling me a witch broke your heart.
Right. Yeah. Ain't nothing like crazy love.
Now.
We all love a little crazy love from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but to hate a whole group of people, especially ones that are healing you in the community. So, and then, oh wait, go back to the point for demons, just 2 seconds. Didn't even talk about any of that. King Solomon.
Yeah, well, they'll say he's the Mad King, though.
Okay, but y'all still talking about him, and he's in the book, though.
Oh, I agree.
He's still a staple.
They only like to talk about good King Solomon, not Mad King Solomon, though. You know.
Oh no, you got to take all of it bad with the good. You can't cherry pick. No. Don't cherry pick.
Oh yeah, dude. There's Solomonic magic out there, and dude, it's like really precise. Like some of the right. Solomon I don't know how to say that fucking word, but Solomonic magic or whatever it's called is like crazy deep, and it's almost like very similar. I'm pretty sure actually Aleister Crowley was real into Solomonic magic.
Oh yeah. How do you think the Stairway? Oh, you know how the Stairway to Heaven song got wrote, huh?
That was in Crowley's house, I think, wasn't it?
They channeled, and he said that, and I'm getting goosebumps on confirmation. They were channeling, they were doing a session of some sort, and the dude, I think the whole band started hearing it in their head. And it would not leave their head. And that's how the whole song got written. And I mean, as Aleister Crowley is such a unique, and for me, I respect both ends, light and dark. I respect the balance of it. Because I'm not a full light witch. Like, I'm going to balance in between, you know, like I'll fight fire with fire if I need to.
And some people will argue that there is no such thing as light or dark anyway. It's just energy that you're dealing with.
Well, then that doesn't make sense. Like, because then how would you differentiate what's good versus evil?
Well, and that's kind of the point, is that, you know, what's good for you may be evil to somebody else and vice versa.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, saving the children, I think, is across the board of being a good thing, or healing somebody. Now, maybe not healing like Hitler, but, you know, but I feel like, you know, I guess that's where like the road to hell was paved with good intentions. But right. I mean, it is debatable through all aspects, but as long as you're calling in from a place of light and you're like, show me how to do this in the highest, vibration for the highest good of all, then the guidance there really should be towards something. And if somebody's disagreeing with that, then you need to question that person,
Right. Well, I mean, sticking on that topic, I mean, we're talking a little dark magic. I went over to your apartment one time and pretty sure I saw you doing some kind of hex action going on. Yeah, it was like you did something, you put something in the freezer and you were like, yeah, that's a hex or something like that.
And don't even worry about that.
Just out of curiosity. I mean, I'm not gonna put a curse or a hex on anybody. I just like learning how it's done. But how did you go about doing that?
So it's not a hex per se. It's called the freezer spell. And you don't have to, you can do it on people, but you can also do it for other things too. So like if you want to like freeze your rent, or if you have an addiction, you want to freeze your addiction, or you want to freeze just anything that's like ailing you at that point or stressing you out or whatever. And that includes people, you put them in the freezer. And what you do is there's a couple of different ways you can do it. So you take a bottle or a container of sorts that is capable of freezing with water in it. So I've had some stuff crack before, because I wasn't thinking it through. And science, you got to put that in. If science and magic would just, anyways,
they're the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
they're hand in hand. So you take that and you put your petition in, like you put the name of whatever the person or why you're freezing what you're freezing. Make sure you're specific. Like, do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not leave room for interpretation at all, because the universe will take it and run a galaxy with it and do it. So, and I'll have an
you're asking for $1,000, are you?
Yeah,
right. So where are you getting that money from?
Well, I was just referring to deer, really.
No,
but
that's actually my reference is, let's say you're manifesting money, and this is still going to apply to using the intention. Let's say you're manifesting, I want $1 million, right? Or $500,000, just a quick little 500,000, right? Okay, cool. Here you go. Okay, cool. Thanks. Oh, ring, ring, ring. Oh, hi. Your great aunt Gertrude, she died last night. But she left this to you in the will.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's
$5,000.
And that's what you hear too.
Coming from.
What you hear too is that most times whenever people are trying to manifest something or do a spell or some kind of magic or a ritual or whatever, and then their spell, ritual, magic, or whatever actually comes to fruition, most people just pass it off as a coincidence because they're like, oh, well, that happened the natural way, because they're expecting fucking, like the Hunger Games, Haymitch just sending down some ointment from the heavens or something like that. And it doesn't happen like that.
That's how the magic works, is that you're calling a force to give it to you in a way that it comes to you. Like, how do you expect, just like those people that don't want to bring their kids to the hospital, we're just going to pray about it. You pray that this doctor who is specific in this medicine brought you in and he's good at this and he's like, I'm gonna do it for free,
Yeah, try praying a toothache away. All right, you're gonna go to the dentist. All right.
Yeah, ain't nothing worse.
They bring them to the person to help them, because God, a divine source, being, whatever, sent that to you. So hold on.
Get it out of you, dude. Well, look, let's get over to the chat here real quick. Nick said, I introduced my girl to shrooms 2 nights ago. Went beautifully. We woke one another up. Hell
nice,
yeah, dude.
Beautiful. I love that for you. I think it's a great tool too.
Oh yeah.
I would love to do psychedelics with somebody who I'm like intimate with. I've never done that, actually. Like, I've never done it with a girlfriend.
You just become one. I think.
Oh, dude. I mean, and I've done psychedelics with, my favorite people, to be honest with you. Like, I've done it with Sean. I've done it with Jacob one time. And
that would be fun.
Yeah, actually, he was a fucking Debbie Downer the entire time. And it was just bad energy. He was just judging. He was judging himself so hard the entire time. I'm like, dude, I get it that you're going inward and you're not kind of used to that, but man, you're ruining my vibe right now. And
let's do some shadow work before we do it.
Right.
Right, right. But yeah, dude, it's I would love that. That sounds beautiful, dude.
We should all get together and try to do Sheldon Dakota. Y'all love him, We could do that. That's fine. And
That'd be
then
fun.
what I recommend, because I'm gonna advocate for my zodiac, find you a Scorpio to do that with. Highly recommend.
Interesting.
Yeah, you know
All
what?
right.
There's always been something about Scorpios that I just,
Oh,
you
there's
know.
plenty of them out
Gets you
there that are
going.
looking for a good man with a good and to have a good time. I promise you, there's Scorpio women out there, and they will blow your mind.
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah, I'm aware. I actually have a Scorpio moon, so just to throw that out there.
Oh, all right.
Okay, bestie.
Oh yeah,
See, that's
dude.
why we get along so well.
That's it. That's it.
That's why we get along so well.
Nick said after doing the mushrooms, the sex was incredible. I could imagine.
Yep.
I could imagine that. Good on you, dude. Britt said, do you think this, Destiny, I think this is for you. Do you think demons exist? And if they do you think they're bad? What do you think they really are, or what they are for and can do?
Okay, so this is I love this question, by the way. So demons, are they real? Yes. I've met one, a couple times. I had one attached to me for 15 years. Before I even got into this stuff, I had one attached to me after playing with a Ouija board. And I'm not knocking Ouija boards, they're just not for me.
After getting the demon, I imagine that wouldn't be for you.
No, definitely not. But it's my vibration and who I am as I guess as a witch and a spiritual person, that I'm not meant to align with it. I have a story behind that too with the psychic. She pulled us out of. I'll tell that story. Just remind me after I go into this. But all right. So it's a mixed bag. I believe that some demons are just pure rot. There's levels to it. I believe that some demons are just misunderstood, like Lilith. She was labeled, she was demonized, but she's not. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna call me what it is, then I'll show you a villain. You know what I'm saying? I'll show you the demon, because I can go on demon time. If somebody's gonna make me the villain,
demon time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be I'll be your worst nightmare, but I really just don't have any intentions of doing any harm. Just don't come for me. That's just kind of how it is. So I think some of them do bad, because they're considered bad. So if you're gonna label them that way, I don't think there's any escape from it. But I feel like some of them are, they're tricksters. Some of them are kind of in the middle. They're not good. They're not bad, but they kind of just do whatever, but then there are ones that are low vibrational, heavy hitters, powerful. And if they just do whatever they want, but a lot of them are low level, in a sense of negativity, embodiment of evil. But I think some of them are just misunderstood. I think you just kind of have to gauge. I'm not saying seek it out, because if you're going to call it out, you're going to probably call the worst to you. And I've met the two that I've met personally, the one that was attached to me, he didn't have good intentions at all. And he's, I'm not gonna lie, ugly, a sin. He's so ugly. And I'm at the point now where I'm I dare you, because I think he was trying to make his way back to me the other day because I was talking about him so much. Because we've been imprinted with each other for 15 years. So we know each other's energy. And he's definitely trickster energy for sure on the negative aspect of it, because he's I know his pattern. That's how well I know him, is because of his pattern. Now the one that I met after him, he was worse. He was scarier. And it's I try not to go into the fear aspect of it, because when you realize that you're also sovereign, powerful in your own right, then that's where they get scared. You know what I'm saying? When you start realizing that you yourself are basically, and this is my theory, I would love to go into it, but we are essentially gods in a meat suit.
Dude, and that's so funny that you bring that up too, because a long time ago, people, would I heard Jacob's whole demon story and that whole thing, and I was like, You know, I feel like most of the time it's like the common concept is that there's always a lot of fear involved every single
If
time.
you if
And
you are feeding that in, of course you're manifesting it.
right,
That's how egregores and shit are brought
they're
up.
just eating that shit up like it's cocaine. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
just a fucking fiend drug. And you know, and I always thought, man, you know what's funny is that the demons always want to, allegedly from the stories, they always want to attach themselves to you. But why is it that we never want to attach ourselves to a demon? Well, it's because we don't envy a demon. A demon may envy us, right? And so if they envy us, then that means that like we're kind of better than they are. And so
You're the goods.
like
You know?
I would
Exactly.
imagine we're fucking more powerful than they are then at that point. Right?
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
never really worried about the whole demon thing. You know, my whole life I've never really had a lot of fear about that personally.
So real quick, you said that you had these experiences with this demon. So like what if you could explain like what you were experiencing?
So, let's see. So for a while before I even got back into the witchy woo side of things, I was with my ex, who was very abusive, and that demon amplified that. Um, he came out of the Ouija board when I was 14, but so I guess initially, like, nothing happened. When we played with the Ouija board, nothing happened. And I'm like, well, this blows. Like I was kind of hoping for something, but nothing happened. And he lied dormant a lot, but like my first initial notice of him was whenever I told the girls, because we were having a slumber party at my house, I told the girls to go inside, and I was going to go put the Ouija board up because it was my friends who let me borrow it. And whenever I go over on the side of his trailer by the porch, you cannot see me. And this is back in the day, not everybody had like cameras everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like this was like early like 2000s.
Yeah.
And so I shimmied under his porch, and he had a nice little gap that would fit the board because, well, we weren't in the best neighborhood, and people would just steal shit just to steal shit. And I didn't want to be responsible, have that on me, on my conscience that somebody stole it because I wasn't, like smart or respectful enough to like put it somewhere. I was just going to tell them where it was in the morning because cell phones didn't exist then, or they weren't like no, I don't even think, maybe like the big chunky ones in the cars,
Yeah.
but I don't think cell phones were even a big thing.
They
at
definitely
that
weren't as
time.
prevalent, right?
Right. Like I didn't have a flip phone at that time. I know that. Kitty cat. She's, I guess, talking to spirit. But anyways, the next morning we get woke up, or like a few hours later we got woken up because my neighbor across the street next to the neighbor I borrowed the Ouija board from, her brothers were waking her up because they had to go somewhere or whatever, and they were like banging on my window. And I'm like, what? Because I'm not a morning person. I'm like, what? Like, what? Why? Don't bang. What? Stop. What? And they were like, hey, tell Jocelyn to come on or whatever. And I hope she's doing well. I haven't seen her since then. Anyways, they were like, oh, and we found this in front of your window. And I'm like, pardon, where did you find that at? Where did you get that from? And they're like, it was literally sitting in front of your window. And I'm like, there's no way. Because my friend hadn't even woken up yet. He's still sleeping. Nobody knew where I put it. I didn't make a peep when I put it under the porch. Nobody knew. Upon inspecting the board, right? That thing, oh God, I'm getting chills. It looked like it had been beaten to hell. It had been tore up, burned, scorched, scratched, spit on, run over. It looked like it had been ripped to pieces, damn near. You couldn't even use it. It was beat up so bad. And it was laying in front of my window. Like, look, I've got chills. Oh my God.
So what? I mean, do you believe that like a demon had something to do with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we don't believe in coincidences in this house. I'm just using it as irony and a joke. But coincidentally, when I turned 17, I was like supposed to go to my friend's house. She was late, right? And I ended up falling asleep. She woke me up and she was like, do you want to still come? You can go back to sleep. I'm like, hell no, I'm 17. Let's party. Let's go. And I left. That night, my house burnt down. Like, yeah, my house burnt down.
What?
The electric socket next to my bed caught fire quick. They said my room was up in flames like faster than it should have been.
Wow.
And no, they really couldn't find what caused it. They said they knew where it came from, but there were no electrical issues
Right.
whatsoever. And my brother could have died if he would have been sleeping in his room, and he was only a few months old.
And-
Like, I mean, he was only like, no, at 17, he was a baby still. So he could have died. My parents could have died if they wouldn't have gotten woken up. You know, like, I could have lost everyone. And
Now,
what's funny is
just out of
like,
curiosity though, like whenever you were working on the Ouija board, did you call upon anybody in specific that maybe opened that portal to allow an entity that you weren't expecting in?
we followed from what I remember, and I don't remember like too much because that was just so long ago. But I believe we followed the rules because I know I was very very serious about that. I'm like, I know the risks of playing with the Ouija board. Because for some reason as a kid and even into an adult, I was always very careful with my decisions because I know that there's, a kickback on things.
Mhm.
If you do it this way, you're asking for trouble. So, and making my decisions, I'm thoroughly thinking things through. So I'm like making sure we're doing it right. Are we, closing it right properly, opening it properly? But I don't know what it was that we did. Now, granted, it was multiple people there. It was a few of us girls doing it. So that may have played a factor in the fact that not everybody may have had the same intention or mindset, which is definitely like important
Mhm.
that on the level of it. Now, I'm never going to recommend to play the board alone. Like, I'm never going to recommend that. If you do it on you, that's your decision. Just please use as much protection. Go above and beyond on protection, okay?
Like a salt
I don't
circle?
care. More than salt, brick dust, eggshell dust.
Brick
Combine it. Make black salt, all of it. Get all the clear quartz crystals, onyx, tourmaline, just everything. I don't care if you have to chisel a tourmaline encasing to put as a dome on top of you. Something like, just make sure you're taking the proper precautions so you don't have that, because you don't know what's going to come through. And frankly, I think I got lucky. And that's saying a lot because that demon did a lot of like crazy shit to me. But I mean, you can invite something worse, well, after that, it lied dormant for a long time. And whenever I was 18 and we were in our new trailer, I ended up meeting my ex, Brandon. And I should say his name loud and proud because he was an abusive person and he deserves the call out. But I think in a sense, like, people might say, oh, the demon made that happen. It just made it worse. It was not, it would have happened regardless, but it just made it worse. And the thing is that even though me and that man will never like each other, I will never have anything positive with him. There's one thing that I can say that me and him would agree on is that we both experienced supernatural things involving that demon. And I've got an EVP on YouTube on my flip phone, and I caught his voice. Very, very creepy. But when he popped up around that time, I used to have a picture of him. I caught him in my closet. By the way, closets are portals. It's just like Monsters Inc. Just to put that out there. But he was, amplifying the violence. Things started moving. Like I think the very first supernatural event that involved him when me and him were together, I'm getting chills from fucking head to toe and feeling it in my cheeks, which means it's like really intense. So, babe, hey, babe, can you light the incense? Do red dragon's blood just for protection, please.
Good measure,
If you
That's a
talk
witch right
about
there,
him
dude.
too
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
that calls him back, by the way. Because we're familiar with each other's energy. Like if I talk about him for too much, and I'm too into it, then he'll find me again. And I've banished him a few times. I've gotten rid of him a few times. Maybe not the right banishment enough that's too permanent, but I'm gonna figure it out. Anyways, we're laying in bed, and I'm like between his legs, like laying down, and we're like falling asleep. And how my like room is, I'm trying to like figure out how to do it to where y'all understand what I'm saying. So it's like I have my bed, and like I have the wall, and then I have my window over here. And I hear on the wall side, I'm talking clear as day, not in my head, out loud. I hear like somebody in my ear, Destiny, like really loud, but it was a whisper. It was so weird. I reacted. I didn't say anything, but I reacted. And Brandon jumps up and he goes, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cuss." But he goes, "What the,"
No, that's fine.
And I'm like, "What did you hear?" And he's like, "I heard your name." And I'm like, "Okay, we're on the same page. Got it."
Oh,
Freaking out
you
on him.
both heard it.
Mm-hmm. So he
Oh.
gets up, he jumps off the bed, he goes outside, looks at the perimeter around, he's like, didn't find nobody. And he sat back down, I was like, the whisper didn't come from the window. You can't whisper through a window. That came from the wall. And then it clicked. He was like, "Oh, you're right." And I'm like, "Okay." But, after that, just other things started happening. My mom had gotten a new desktop, and because Brandon was such a good like person to be on, like like hacker style, he taught himself a lot of like how to do all the technical stuff on computers that
Mhm.
most basic people wouldn't know unless you like learned. Like he can get in the back door and just do all the inner works of the computer like a hacker or whatever. And one day we're cooking lunch, and I was basically a live-in nanny for my mom, and he didn't work, but he was cooking chicken, and I was cleaning up something, and all of a sudden like the computer turned on. Mind you, it's a fresh out the box computer. There's nothing on this computer. We don't even have the internet browser programmed yet. Okay. So there's literally nothing stored on this computer. It is like factory reset, fresh out the box. All of a sudden, this piano melody plays through the speaker loud on a loop 3 times, shuts off by itself, chills. And me and
Chills.
him were just like, "What was that?" Like I'm like, "No." So we freaked out about that. He looks on the computer, he sees nothing. There's no source. He can't even find it. There's no source. You can't find anything on a computer. Anything. There's no source. He doesn't know where the music came from, what the music was. We don't, nothing. Next day, computer pops on again, same time, but this time, oh, this is so creepy. I had this on video. It's gone, but I had it on video. Look at the goosebumps. I don't know if y'all can see them, but whoo. So, anyways, it does it again. It turns on, but this time it's speaking in a different language and it's praying.
Whoa.
And I have a natural ear for linguistics.
What
I
language
don't.
would you say it was?
I want to say Aramaic.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
I have like I said, I have an ear for linguistics. I can kind of pinpoint what region, all that stuff. Where it's just a natural talent. I don't know. Nobody taught me that. And it played on a loop 3 times and stopped. And nothing happened on the computer after that. Then my cat started freaking out. And mind you, she was a very savage cat. She was a Siamese. She was scared of nothing. But all of a sudden, if she's been there for years, mind you, this happened over the course of like 6 years, So she's never scared of anything. All of a sudden, she's hyper fixated, and I mean terrified. I don't know if you've ever seen the look of terror in an animal's eyes, but she was terrified of my ceiling fan, not the other 4 in the house, mine, out of
Mm.
nowhere. She's been with me in that house for years at this point, and she's never been out of nowhere. Now she's scared, terrified. She won't eat in the room. She's like always doing it, like hunched down low to the ground, like she's trying to get away from it, staring, fixated. Her eyes will not break off of that fan if it's in her sight. We had to move her food bowl in parts of the room or outside of the room to where she couldn't have a visual of it because she was that scared. She
Hmm.
wouldn't sleep in the bedroom with us. And that was a big deal because she was attached to me, so attached to me. And I don't know why Brandon did this, but it was kind of like, I guess because we were uncertain of it, and it sounds cruel when I say it, but he picked her up and he put her closer to the fan just to test the theory. Oh God, you would have thought we were murdering her. She did not. There was something on that fan or in that area. And then that went on for about 6 months and then it stopped. She would come in, look at it like, it's not there anymore. And then she was back to normal.
And you didn't do anything to the fan, like you didn't change anything about it. There wasn't like light bulbs out and you replaced them or anything like that.
No, like we were messing with the fan in general. But that's the thing. If it was a fan, then why isn't she scared of the other 5 or 4 in the house?
That's what I'm saying. There
You
was
know?
something with this fan for sure.
Well, we
Yeah.
were we were doing different. We were, I think, if I recall, we were like different settings, changing the light bulb just to see if something with the fan was. It didn't change. She was terrified of the fan. If we could have taken the fan off the ceiling, we couldn't. But if we could, I mean, we probably could have if we really tried. But it's Louisiana. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I think she still would have been scared of that spot, because then why is it she's all of a sudden scared of it, and 6 months later, out of nowhere, she's not scared of it anymore?
Yeah. That's super strange.
Weird.
Well, that
Yeah.
leads us to Britt's question. Britt said, "Is that how you got rid of the demon? Because you realized your power? Because you were and earlier you said, I wish a demon would fuck with me, kind of thing, right? Is that
Yeah.
kind of like how you got rid of it in the first place?"
Kind of. That played a huge part in it. So whenever you have something negative like that, you do want to command it. Like if it's in your space, that's part of it. I would recommend just looking up certain. Always follow your intuition on what is guided to get rid of it, because there's different ways to get rid of it depending on what kind of demon it is, what what it's just what it is energy wise. But having that, get the fuck out of my house, you little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You are not welcome here, and it's weird energy that you want to be somewhere where no one likes you. We're laughing at you. Just really, you're the dominant one. You have to assert your dominance. Using, putting up wards helps as well, but there are certain banishment techniques that you can do.
I feel like, is it possible that if you're not giving into the fear, you're almost starving it of its energy that it feeds on?
We tried to ignore it, and that just was like, let me amp it up a little bit. Because when me and Brandon tried to ignore it, that's when the shades started swooping from side to side, and my mom's door was flinging open when nobody was in the house but me. And then the nightmares, that freaked me out. I had the same nightmare consecutively for 3 weeks straight. You see the pattern of 3, right?
Yeah.
It was like a Freddy Krueger thing. I didn't want to sleep.
Oh
Because
my God.
anytime I shut my eyes, it was the same dream, and I see it in my head. It was the same dream. I'm in a Puritan house, and there's nothing in there. It's all wood, but there's like a table and a cauldron, but the cauldron's like in the fire pit where they could cook, and the fire was lit, and there was nobody in the room. And I would go to try to go out the door's not opening, and I turn around, and it's filled with people in black cloaks. Like,
Oh.
it was scary. And they were all mumbling, and I could not understand them. But then the one that seemed to be, God, I'm getting chills. The one that was the leader, he would speak for the group, and it was the same message every single time. We have you. We're going to get you. You're pretty much you're ours, And I'm like, fuck.
My God.
And funny enough, I prayed about it. Like, right? Like, I hit my knees one night, and I was like, God, I know me and you don't, with each other like that. I'm not perfect, but
Been a minute, like
stop it. Yeah, can you make it stop? I can't deal with this anymore. And it's so weird because my theories on God and stuff are so different now. So I think who I prayed to was not the Christian God. I think it was the original source, because I think the Christian God is Demiurge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yaldabaoth. I could go into a whole thing on that, but that's not the point of right now. I had a dream that night that I was in a nunnery, and I'm sitting in like this, it's like a walk breezeway, and it's beautiful. It's like stone, and it's this like stone, but on the sides is like grass and like little like stone benches with like cutouts with like like Mary in there, or candles, like just little like statues of like those kinds of people, or then like deities or whatever, like saints and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting there chilling, I felt very serene, and this woman, this nun, comes up to me. She's in a gray habit, and she's like she's probably in her 60s. She's kind of like a thicker grandma. She looks like she bakes the best cookies. She just was a very sweet face, and she's like, hey, my child, he says he heard you, and you're fine. You're okay. You're good. No more. You're not going to have to deal with it anymore. And I never had that nightmare again. And I'm like, holy crap, like what? But then it came back like years later, and it's broken up a lot of my relationships, friendships, stuff like that. I think it became like, it was like obsessed with me, kind of, in a sense. Like, it didn't want me to have, it was like an abusive relationship. It didn't want me to have a connection with anybody, especially men. It did not want me to have any relationship with a man whatsoever.
It was jelly.
So very jelly.
So,
Like,
real quick, you said when you in the dream, to go back to that, you would turn around and there would be a bunch of people in black cloaks. So, like, in your understanding, since it's been so long, you having this dream over and over, like, what is your interpretation of the imagery of seeing these black cloaks?
What do you mean, like,
Like, who would those people be? Are they demons? Are they who are the
Yes.
black cloak people?
I believe they were all demons. Like, it was
Okay.
like they're like the minions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was
Mhm.
like a clique, like a group, because they didn't feel human. They did not
Okay.
feel human. They were
Right.
all. Oh, and I forgot this crucial detail of the dream. Their eyes, they would be normal and flick to black, like solid black. Like,
Mhm.
for the ones that I could see their faces, I couldn't see all their faces, but especially the main guy, they looked human. They looked very human, but
Mhm.
they weren't. Like, their eyes, they would look at me, and then it would just flick to black, and it would just back and forth. Like, they were psyching me out. They were just like, and
Yeah.
I don't remember, I was terrified.
Mhm.
Terrified, because at the time I was not a practicing witch. My mom had already converted back to Baptist, and she was pushing me to do it, and I was trying so hard to convert myself back to that faith, and I didn't know, what was going on. And I was so beating myself up. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? I get the Ouija board thing, but like, I feel like, I don't know, I did something else that was wrong. I shamed myself a lot when I was like when I was religious. There was a lot more fear mongering when religion was involved. And I think when religion's involved, I think it's almost like you're opening yourself up more to that, because of the battle between that good versus evil thing.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
they
always
almost
that
set you
dichotomy.
up for the right picking. Like, you're full of sin, and they want to like devour your soul, and so you almost make yourself vulnerable
Yeah.
to that because of the religion, I think.
Yeah,
But that's just a personal opinion.
It's quite possible. That's something that I think too. I mean, just if everything's on a poll, like there's going to be the positive and the negative on that poll. So if there is a
Well, they're
good, there
gonna
has to
teach
be a
you that
bad.
they're teaching you that you're full of sin, and no, 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 and it's like,
You were born
you're
that way,
literally,
actually,
yeah,
as
right.
far as what they say, I
That
think.
means you're open.
Mhm.
Well, at
If
that
you're
point,
gonna,
Right.
you're almost a magnet to demons, if you believe that.
Mhm.
exactly, the fear mongering to have you in fear and under that thumb, you're wide open. Like,
Yeah.
but
I
if you
was
realize that you're sovereign and you're powerful and you are that power, then that kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it?
I would
Yeah.
think so. Yeah. All right. I want to get over to a couple of the chats here because there's a bunch
Or
of
I hope
people
I
asking you.
answered that properly. I don't know if I got
Oh,
all the
yeah,
way
no,
through
yeah.
it.
Yeah, for
It's your
sure.
experience.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch of people asking you questions, so I want to make sure we get to them. Benjamin said, Desi, have you ever looked into a crystal ball? And if so, what did you experience?
Actually, no, I've never looked into a crystal ball, and that's one of my favorite things to like doodle, actually. Hold on, where's my, like, I love drawing them.
Like
Like,
scrying?
yeah, I've never I want to, because I
Oh
know
my
that
goodness. You
I've been
should.
told by other
You'd dig it.
psychics that I would actually be like really good at that form of divination. But honestly, I think as much as I put on, like, for the most part, I do have that, like, I'm not scared really much of anything. It's more or less like, I don't I don't like gore, and I'm kind of scared of to see the gross stuff. Like the things that are just not, because I mean, when you scry, of course your intention should be there. So you're scrying for certain things. I need to try it, but I think every time that I've tried to scry, like something happened or something got in the way of me scrying. But like I need to get an obsidian mirror because I really would love to do that. But I've never looked into a crystal ball, but I'm aware of what I honestly think I could do a lot when I look into that. Like, because if I can look at the cards and tell your future
Oh,
or what's going on in your
100%.
life,
I feel like they're cousins at that point.
pretty much. I mean, that's all. It's all divination tools. And with the crystal ball or water or obsidian mirrors and so, like the obsidian mirrors and stuff, like it's pretty much like a TV,
Right.
you just
You're
tune it
channeling,
in,
channeling
to
into the
see a
program.
vision. You just got to learn how to tune that in. But
Well,
I
speaking
mean, I
of
guess
divination, Britt said, "What's so different about a Ouija board versus a pendulum?"
so. A Ouija board is okay. So, like, I guess it depends because with the pendulum, you can have different boards with different. I mean, you can do basic yes no questions with pendulums. You can do boards with different answers on them. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Ouija board, it's alphabetical. So it's going to spell it out. I know that probably doesn't sound too much of a difference. I personally think the Ouija board, when it was created, it didn't have good intentions when it was created. I feel like it was birthed out of a lower vibration. That's personal opinion. I feel though that what that is, because I mean, everything that I'm drawn to in the realm of divination, magic, the witchy woo, I go by my intuition and my spirit. If it does not sit right with my spirit, it is not aligned for me and I will not force it. And I have not missed yet. And that's following anything. If a phrase that somebody, like hallmark phrases that people speak on, that doesn't hit right with me, I don't like it. I'll argue with it. But I guess with pendulums, I don't know. People can manipulate pendulums too more than Ouija boards. I mean, I know people can manipulate Ouija boards like with their fingers, but with pendulums, like you can shake. I would recommend getting a tool that holds the pendulum so you don't have to, like worry if you're shaking too much or not. But essentially, it's like there's difference, but there's not.
Well, it's
They're
like
both
that
divination
stigma,
tools.
against the Ouija board almost ultimately may even open up the negative possibility.
If you see only negative, then you're gonna get only negative. Now, granted, I'm not the only reason. I mean, like I said, I don't do it because of I'm not meant to align with it, but I'm not saying don't, if you feel pulled and drawn to use the Ouija board and it's coming out good for you and you're doing what you like good with it, do it. Like it's just not meant for everybody. But I feel like there are key differences in the tool as it being just what it is. It's a crystal. The pendulum is typically a crystal, but you're not using crystals for the Ouija board. It's the same and different at the same time. I guess it's just all about perspective,
Okay.
But they're both divination tools to communicate with spirit. So
All right.
I guess it really just depends on how you want to view it.
It's up to the individual, maybe not like a clear-cut kind of line there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Benjamin said, "My ex-girlfriend's demon used to make random everyday items disappear when I wasn't looking. He normally always gave them back eventually. One time my ex-girlfriend and I seen the Zippo lighter that I had quote-unquote lost materialize out of thin air onto the table we were sitting by. It was wild as fuck."
Whoa.
I would love to witness that. Like,
Got yourself a trickster demon.
That's what I was about to say. That sounds like a trickster. It may not be full on demon, but it could just be a trickster. It's not. Tricksters aren't always necessarily demon unless you want to demonize them because they're just messing with you. Like if they're giving it back, they're not all bad, obviously.
They're like the machine elves,
Yeah, exactly. They're kind of like the little elves and gnomes. They will, or fairies. They're just gonna be like, I got your stuff, like I got your nose, but they're gonna give it back. They're just like, okay, here you go. You can give them offerings to get it back, or like I have a spell that that I've used for lost items. And when I tell you that spell has worked every single time,
Listen up,
it's worked.
Jonathan. You need to find your wallet.
Spill
It's
the
still out
tea.
there.
Spill the tea. I'm ready for it.
You want the spell now? Obviously, I'm always gonna say use good intentions and stuff like that. Like, don't run the saint dry. You know what I'm saying? Don't be petty with it, and don't be like overexerting this spell. Like, use it when you need it. And actually, I have a supernatural story on this one too. I mean, obviously spell work, but it did involve like a cold case. Oh, not a cold case. I'm sorry. It did involve an active crime case, like using it. But it's Dear St. Anthony spell. And oh my God, I've been using it. I've been actually needing to reference this spell a lot lately, like within the past few days. So I wonder if there's something to that. I'm peeping the pattern.
What kind of spell did you say it was? I'm sorry, I missed it.
It's a find lost items spell.
Right.
So this is how it goes. You say it 3 times, no more, no less. Make sure you're thanking this saint for his work afterwards. So lighting incense, like dragon's blood, frankincense, myrrh, stuff, an offering of some sort to thank him for his service.
You said it was Saint Anthony?
Saint Anthony.
Okay.
Oh, that's what you said that I missed. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. So it just goes, Dear Saint Anthony, please come around. My object is lost and cannot be found. Now, in the event where I've used it for missing persons, I did do that once. I didn't even think at first to use it, but my friend in Ohio's daughter, she went missing and panicked because I'm the godmother. And like, me and this woman have been friends for years. Like, we're close. You know, we don't get to talk all the time, but we're pretty close. We've never met in person, but we love each other that much, you know, and she loves me so much, loves me so much enough to name me godmom, to her kids. Well, her oldest daughter goes missing, and I just think, it came to my mind, so I'm assuming that was spirit, and I told her, I was on the phone with her, I was like, let's do the spell at the same time because she's a witch too. And we did it. And I mean, when I tell you the goosebumps that came over us, like, it was such a magical feeling. It worked because we were trying to actively find her. It didn't work in the way that we wanted it to, unfortunately. But she was found. Unfortunately, she was already deceased. The father had already taken her life and done other horrible things to her. And I think you can look up, if anybody is actually curious, for the morbid details of the case. I don't know if they're gonna list it, but the case is in Ohio, and her name was Kamani, and it means butterfly. And so her dad and the grandmother, the mother of the mother, was involved because she was sleeping around with the dad. She knew where she was. And me and my boyfriend were doing Estes and tarot and spirit box to pick up on her location. We were getting cities that I didn't know about in Ohio. We hit points. She was found the next morning. The body was brought back to her the next morning.
Wow. See, there's something to it, dude.
Apprehended.
There's definitely something to all of it.
Oh yeah. Like, I thanked, him for it, but any other time I've used it for an object, that object will pop up. I actually got we're going through this awful thing with his his baby mama and his son, and it's awful what we're dealing with. It's a serious crime has taken into effect for this child, if you know where I'm going with it. And the man is the other baby daddy of the baby mother. He's a bad man. And don't worry, he's in the boot. I did hex on him. Okay. And if anybody's curious about the boot spell, I'll tell that one too. But anyways, so well,
let's go boot spell while we're at
the
it.
lease agreement for him because he's trying to ruin her life. So right now he's got her paying back pay on child support because he called in saying fraud. I mean, not child support, food stamps, saying, oh, fraud, I was never on it. But he was. Like, he was a dependent or whatever, somehow to where he was living with her. He called, lied, saying it wasn't, so now she's paying back pay. So she was like, I can't get a hold of the lease because of the office was doing shifty things. And I was like, say the spell with me. Okay, we're going to do it together. And I promise that the lease is going to pop up in a weird way. we did the spell, and sure enough, we talked to her on the phone the other day, and she's like, yeah, so we ended up finding the lease, and they're mailing it to me.
It just works,
Love it.
dude.
Love it.
It's tried and true.
Works every time. Like,
Well, there you
it
go,
hands
Jonathan.
down works. Just
Now you know.
if you're gonna do any spell work, do it respectfully and from a place of being humble. So, because you will get a kickback if you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Makes sense.
That spell is
You
right
don't
out the
want that
grimoire, dude. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what happened? What grimoire, dude? What?
No, I said that spell must be right out the grimoire since it works so well.
I got it out of a spell book. I don't have the spell book anymore, but I do. I write it out of a spell book, and I don't memorize things very well, but I memorized it for some reason, and at 14, I've known it ever since. Like, for some reason.
See,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
start
have
your
to
own
do-
grimoire, I think. Oh, sorry.
I
go ahead.
am actually. I'll be having
Yes.
like I'm creating spell grimoire pages that I'm going to end up posting on certain platforms to sell for someone who wants to make their own grimoire. So I can go over
Awesome.
that later.
Hell
Awesome.
yeah, dude, that's legit. Let's see. Let's get down the chat here. Britt said, "I never had anything mess with me while awake, just asleep, so mine weren't that bad. Just a dream or a nightmare kind of situation going on there." And
Which
then,
makes sense
I'm
if you
still be
think about it.
careful, though.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it makes sense because even you were saying that, you had those nightmares like 3 weeks in a row. It's like, imagine a way that this demon or this energy can put you in a fear state of mind, actually giving you the ability to see the representation of what that would look like, make you feel fearful, and then kind of, get that energy from you, being in that
Right.
fear
But
state.
even messing with you in your dreams, I mean, that's a big deal too, because that's your spirit. That's your astral.
Right.
Because when you sleep, your soul is leaving your body essentially, and you're going into other realms. Like,
Right.
that's what that is. Like, so you got to be careful, especially if you are accidentally astral traveling. You don't want them to cut the line, and they'll fit. That's them trying to attach to you, by the way.
Britt also said, in referring to your demon experience, that that sounds like a succubus/incubus being jealous and not wanting you to be with anyone else but them.
Probably. I didn't even think. I don't know why I never thought about it that way. I'm glad they put that up because that does make sense. And I did have a lot of weird sexual dreams throughout the years where I didn't know who it was, but very, very intense sexual dreams. And I'm just like, why I never made the connection is beyond me. But that sucks because, like, it's but he was really ugly too.
Those
like,
are the
the best way I
worst.
can describe him, when I caught him on camera, it was just his like side profile, like peeking out of my closet, like because the door wasn't fully open or closed, and he kind of looked like the old Spider-Man with the what's his face,
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah. Okay. So the Green Goblin mask.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That he had the bulging eyes like that. It's like this weird skin texture, very sharp, like jawline, and he had this like shit-eating grin that was like a mile long, and he was just like looking right at me. I'm like, you ugly motherfucker.
Looking like a whole
That was
velociraptor, dude. Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Fuck
It
outta
was
here.
so and I'm like, so you're what? I think a succubus or an incubus should at least be decent looking. Like
know.
give me Henry Cavill or something. Like, come on. Not fair.
Benjamin said, "Clear quartz, I think, is easier to see. Obsidian, it seems to me that it takes some experience under your belt."
Yes.
Maybe a little bit
Yeah.
each to each their own. I mean, I know that because the idea is that you kind of want the flame up against the obsidian, right? And you're supposed to almost like stare into the black flame that's up against the obsidian if you're trying to scry, right? Isn't that how it's
Well,
done?
there's different. I've heard different points of using it. I heard to have the flame right there. Then I've heard to have the flame close enough, but not in the
like off to the side a
reflect-
little bit.
Yeah, so you want to be able. I guess it just depends because if you have the flame in there, you're looking at two forms of divination. You're looking in the flame and the reflection because
Right.
then you can use flames as divination tools as well.
Oh,
So with clear quartz and obsidian or onyx obsidian, I do see where there could be a difference energetically. they're both okay. Well, they're both equally powerful because with clear quartz, it's kind of a jack of all trades.
Right.
You can use it as a substitute for anything, and if you wanted to take the properties of obsidian, of protective properties of obsidian, and apply it to the clear quartz, then yeah, that's possible.
It's basically
I
the
feel
Joker
like,
card.
yeah, it just depends on the user, because I feel like the reflective surfaces of them are totally different in my eye, through my eyes. They're totally different. But I mean, I think either or is a very good tool. I wonder if you could do somehow do a combo, like have like them sitting next to each other,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you can make that work for you. It's
That
up
would
to
be
the
insane.
individual for sure.
Well,
We should do
clear.
like magical experiments and just push the limits,
Oh yeah, for
Well, I
sure.
mean,
Why
and,
wouldn't you?
and if you got clear quartz, it's very similar to like using a white candle. It's kind of like just how you said, almost the jack of all trades kind of
There's
situation.
also a crystal. I wish I had it ready to. I know I have it right here somewhere by me, but it's called like the Sears crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And mine, it's like the rough on the outside, but the piece that's cut and shaved on the front is this perfect, clear, smooth, reflective surface, and it's a gorgeous crystal. I can see if I have it in my immediate like. If I
And
could
it's
just
called
grab.
the Sears crystal.
Yes, it's like the Sears crystal. I believe that's what it's called. Loki,
Okay.
no, my baby. I've got crystals everywhere, but I want to say I'm about to just dump it. It's either in here or it's in my.
All right. I pulled it up right here. It says a seer crystal, often referred to as a seer stone, is typically a naturally polished gemstone commonly made from quartz or other crystals like amethyst or rose quartz. These stones are believed to be used for divination and accessing intuitive insights.
I love me some amethyst, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's see. Destiny, this is another question for you, dear. Britt said, with pendulums, you can, with pendulums, you can use a mat to hold it over that has letters or whatever. So couldn't the same negative entities come through theoretically?
Essentially, any divination tool that you use, anything negative can come through. It doesn't matter what the tool is. It just matters on your intention, or if you're conjuring. It just really depends. You can conjure evil up, with your pinky toe if you really wanted to. But yeah, if you leave yourself wide open for that energy to come through, which actually, okay, I see where they're going with this. Okay, so if you're doing any kind of work, right? So whenever, I'm trying to think of how I want to go into this.
Well, she kind of touched up on the question a little bit, and she said maybe the Ouija board has a bunch of negative energy already attached to it from the collective, and that's why more negative interactions might occur.
Right. That's also something, I'm glad she brought that up, because that's also in addition to me like saying I think it was created with ill intent, it was created from a negative aspect, but having everyone collectively believe that it is negative, of course, it's like attracts like, speak it into existence enough and you're going to get that result. So that she makes a very good point. I love that, that she brought that to out to the attention of all of us, and anybody else watching and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, that's fact. If you are going to speak something into existence, if you're going to call something what it is or what you think it is enough, and you have all these other people doing it, then yeah, of course.
It's an egregore now.
It's gonna manifest in its own way. But oh no, where was I? Oh, I had something I was going. Oh, I don't remember what the basis of it was. But it was calling negative things in, like being so. I had this experience recently, and me and my boyfriend were on Spirit Box. And I have a theory. I call it, I don't know if it's an actual theory or if I coined it, I don't know what it is, but I call it the lighthouse theory. Okay. And like, how like they have like we're the spiritual plane and our plane, they're like on top of each other. Mm-hmm. So I always kind of visualize it like Hollywood probably has made it look, where it's like the sepia, black and white, maybe tone, whichever one. But like how spirit can wander around town. The same houses are there on both sides. We're all seeing the same houses, the same trees, the same streets. But the difference is most of us can't see the spirits, but the spirits are going to see us just minding our business in our home, right? Mm. So we had a spirit come in, and he was a 12-year-old boy. I absolutely adore this spirit. His name's Harold. And mind you, kids are very blunt on the other side. They're not as cryptic as adult spirits. But he comes in, and he's, I was like, how'd you find us? Because he said he was just wandering around. He was bored. He was just walking around, and he saw us, and he just decided to come on in. And the way I have my place warded is that only those for your highest good can come in. Now, that's not to say I haven't had demons literally come through the spirit box saying, let me in. And I'm like, fuck all the way off, like your mama, like stuff like that. I cuss them out. And, I'll burn sage and get rid of them. But, he's like, I just came in, and I just was seeing what was up, and hanging out with all the other spirits in my house and, whatnot. And I was like, okay, so how did you find us? And he was like, well, I just saw a really bright light, and I came toward it. I was like, so you can see we're light on the other side, like an aura, right? Like we radiate a light like an aura. And he said, yes, exactly. And I'm like, okay, so it's like, I believe, and every time I see it in my head, it's like kind of like instead of the light going outward so far, it will kind of like glow off of you. But I feel like as far as where a concentrated amount of light, it'll shoot up like a bat signal,
Okay.
So the brighter the light, which means that's the more magical, in tune, awakened, healed version of yourself. The more you awaken, the more you heal, the more you tap in, the brighter you get.
That makes
right
sense. Mm-hmm.
If you're negative, lower, blah 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 blah,
yeah.
The denser you are, the less bright you are, and your colors change. So we change our auras. Our colors will shift and change depending on like where we are in our journey. But I asked him, I was like, so it's not just white light, right? And he's like, no, colors. And I was like, okay, well, what color am I? And he said royal blue. And I was like, okay, cool. I gotta look that up, to see what royal blue means. And I don't remember exactly. I don't know if y'all want to look it up, but royal blue, each color is very like has a specific meaning to it. And I know that royal blue was a very powerful color. And I was like, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. So he was just sitting there talking with us. I asked him, I was like, if you want to, I'm very curious about all these other things. If you want to, if you're comfortable, I was like, how did you die? Stuff like, I know it sounds very rude, but I was respectful about it. He did not want to talk about it, and I respected that boundary, so I did not press further on it. But I don't know what time frame he was from, what era, but every time I imagine or think about him or feel his presence, it feels either like early 1900s, maybe 1800s when he died. He won't tell me what it is, but I feel like he may have passed from like some form of
illness,
big bad disease or something that was going around
the
at
plague.
The time.
Yeah,
like tuberculosis or the plague or something like that. That's what I always kind of feel. I don't think, but I mean, that may be just what I don't know if that's right. I don't say to second guess yourself, but I just don't want to assume to be rude. Right. Because he could have been murdered. Maybe he's just trying to make me feel like, maybe if I make her feel like it was a disease, she wouldn't feel so bad that I was murdered, or something like that. He just didn't want to talk about it, which is what makes me think that maybe it wasn't the disease. He just didn't want to relive the trauma. So
it's very well possible. Oh, the royal blue is often associated with protection, comfort, authority, and it symbolizes loyalty and trust. It says it is linked to spiritual figures like Archangel Michael and represents a connection to the divine and inner strength.
Okay, so that's confirmation.
Thank you, dude. Spirit, yeah,
for giving me that boost. Oh, and speaking of archangels, I've actually come into contact with Gabriel and Hecate on many occasions. Hecate on many, actually. Well, Gabriel here lately a lot, but Hecate, she's come through with me a lot. When she sought me out, because she normally will choose you, because she's the mother of witches, and I didn't know who she was when I first was introduced to her. Like the way she came to me energetically, I had no clue who she was.
But I think that's actually That's actually really fascinating when that happens, when an entity comes to you and you're not even aware of who this thing is, what energy they would put off, what, attributes or characteristics, and then you look it up and you're like, oh, I didn't
Oh,
even know about
it's
this person.
crazy. Because I heard her the first time, and I'm actually wearing a necklace that's for Hecate, but um, well, the first time I was in my apartment, Jonathan knows my apartment. I was in my apartment and I was just having a me night. I was doing my makeup. I had a little drinky drink, and I'm just listening to music, just vibing, And then I hear this name in my head just over, 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 and over and over again. It was like a broken record. It would not stop until I scratched that itch. And I was like, okay, I'm looking it up. I don't know what this means, but I'm looking it up. And I saw like Mother of Witches. She seeks you out. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Let's go.
So I'm familiar with her recently. I want to say at least within the last year or two, this happened.
I believe
Me and
she's
him have a bunch of like,
she's like a crone, right? Like the
she is
oldest
the
of the
well,
witches.
she's labeled a demon, but she's the crossroad demon. She's just the mother of witches. She's a beautiful deity. I think she comes originally from like Greek stuff. She helped Persephone and whatnot back then, but she's definitely like evolved, I think, across like the way, like just she's just like the mother of witches essentially, and other things like her primary like symbols are like keys, torches, black dogs, just all kinds of stuff. She is an absolutely beautiful energy, and she is maiden mother crone, so she is like three separate beings and one at the same time. She's absolutely breathtaking.
I see here it says she is associated with crossroads, night, light, magic, witchcraft, drugs, and the moon. Her earliest appearance in literature was in Hesiod's Theogony in the 8th century BC as a goddess of great honor with domains in the sky, earth, and sea. But yeah, it's a Greek.
Yeah, she's great. But I hate that they label her demon because she is a goddess. Like she's a very powerful deity. And what's crazy is like me and him were doing like we had old phones. So we had about 5 old phones to get like collectively we had 5 old phones, and then including our phones that we use on a regular basis. So we had apps installed that were more of the dictionary spirit boxes versus the radio style.
Mm-hmm.
They all had different ones. They were all different apps, right? They're going off in tandem. Angel, Archangel, Gabriel, Angel, Archangel, hierarchy, like back and forth. And I'm just like getting goosebumps again. They're just going off one after the other, just boom, boom, boom. And we're like looking at each other like, what is happening? And you can feel the energy in what's going on. Yeah,
there she is right there.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, the triple-headed goddess.
They were all going off in tandem, and the energy, you can feel the energy just like rising. It was just so electric. And then right after Gabriel, like right after you felt him come in, then Dakota looks down at his phone and he's like, goddess. And I'm like, which one? Which one is it? And he goes, Hecate. I'm like, mother, yes. So like, I'm like, oh my God, I got to get out the good china, stuff like, I don't have good china. But I was like,
the good paper plates,
Like, I was so elated to have them here. So that right there should tell you in a sense of from like the Christian aspect. It's like, okay, so why was Gabriel coming in and he held the door open for Hecate too, like a gentleman, and they both showed up together to let me know that what I'm doing is good. It's fine. We approve. Like we want. My ears ringing. Ooh, that was loud. Felt like somebody was like, hey, like right in my ear.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, and we've talked to a lot of very spiritual, psychic, witchy, magician. I mean, you name your flavor. We've talked to a lot of different people who are very well in tune. And I will say, just from my own personal experience with you, I mean, you are connected. There is something, I mean, I would almost say spooky with how connected you are. It is crazy. Like, I mean, and I've gotten readings from a lot of people, especially doing this show, but I also used to be, my podcast used to be inside of a crystal shop. I was around psychics all fucking day, right? And you will always stand out. Like just the way that I mean, it is it is, like I said, it's just fucking, there's something spooky about it. So just out of curiosity,
So
and
you're fanning my ego, but go ahead.
I mean, hey, you know,
Continue.
Thank you.
I'm spiritually fanboying over here, but I know that you do offer tarot readings, you know, and you do them a lot cheaper than what most people will do. So I'm very thankful to kind of have you on our side over here, but to kind of try and express how amazing you are. Now, you don't know shit about Sean, right? Like, Sean's a brand new person.
Why does it gotta
to
be
you
about me every time?
because she already gave me a reading. I want to.
Okay.
Late. I love
Was this a
looking.
recent one though? You know,
It was pretty recent.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like a couple weeks ago, whenever I tried to get her on.
Oh, okay.
But
right.
but yeah, if you could, I don't know. Are you feeling a little witchy right now to give Sean a reading?
365 days a week.
All
Year.
right.
365 days a year. Sorry.
All right.
Yes, I would love to. So let me see. Hey babe, will you light one more orange candle? What? Will you light one more orange candle? Yeah. Thank you. So
Gotta
I love
get the vibe
using
going.
candles like a lot. Especially with like doing stuff like this because it helps me. I don't know, it sets the mood.
That's the vibe.
Well, you got to set the
So,
temple. You know, it's just a temple setting.
oh yeah, it's a whole vibe. Let me see. What do I want? So, okay, I want you to think of 3 general questions. Don't say them out loud. Think of
Okay.
3 general questions of things that you want to know. If you don't have any specific questions and you just say, I want like a general, I want you to tell me something that's for my highest good, reveal something that I don't know, what's hidden, secrets, anything like that. If you're like, what do I need to know that is, you know, going on behind my back? Or if you have like a love question, let me know and I'll use a specific deck, but I don't feel like your questions are going to be like purely on love. I get a sense you're more into the like darker part, like the shadow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
want to know. I want to see.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, I want to see under the rug. You know, I want to
Yeah,
see
yep.
behind the curtain. I want
That's
to
it.
know. Like, we'll worry about love later. We'll worry about like all that stuff. I'm not even worried about that right now.
Yep.
Let's see. Do I want to do? Do you want me to use tarot, or do you want me to use oracle? I'm split right now because it's like I might end up using a little bit of both.
Just give it the old
Mix
Akabaka
it up.
Soda Kraka. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess we'll start with tarot. Okay, yeah, we'll start with tarot. Hold on. They say go ahead and open up the other one. Okay. We'll
Don't
do.
question it. Don't question it.
Okay, let's see. And so, I do want to put this too. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. For anybody that wants to like read, I want to say I did say this earlier, but if you are reading, doesn't matter. If you still need to reference your book 10 years down into your reading, do not feel bad about referencing your book. If anything, it like clarifies and proves that you were in the right direction anyway. So,
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been doing this show for
2
like
years.
2.5 years now,
Yeah.
and we still use our book. So there ain't no shame
Right.
in that. Although we're trying to get a little bit more intuitive with it. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I know all my cards, but sometimes I'm just like, "Shit, what does that mean in reverse again? Like, I don't
Mhm.
always remember. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry. I have like hip problems because I'm geriatric. Anyways, so let's see. Also, I think like long hair does have a way to like connect to with spirit because now that my hair has gotten this long, like I don't want to cut it, but I know I'm gonna have to trim it at some point.
it's your antenna. You know, I'm trying to grow mine back out. It's getting there. You know, it's starting to come.
Dude, your hair grows quick, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was back in February. I was completely bald.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
but I've been using a lot of biotin shampoo, not to show my gay, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah. Man, I always get so excited because I know that the magic is already stewing.
It's already happening right now, dude. You know.
Yeah.
I hear somebody in here. Both sides already. Okay.
Man, I wish I could just turn it on like that. You know?
Wow.
Jeez.
That's so cool. I think it's something that, like, you know, if you work with every day,
Mm-hmm.
probably comes
Yeah.
a little easier.
All right, so this is sideways. 10 of Cups sideways. So
I didn't even
hold
know you
on.
could do sideways. You see?
Yeah, it's tilted left or right. Now, I'm actually new to the left or right side. I've been working with ChatGPT for that one.
Mm.
So, well, there is a lady in your life. There is some kind of woman in your life,
Yes, there is.
and it does involve like your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
She plays a big role in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though this wasn't about love, and it may not be love, well, emotional fulfillment. I'm over here sitting here saying, like, okay, maybe you didn't ask about love or anything, or like
Mm-hmm.
your personal life, and they're saying you may not have asked about it, but it may be something that you asked it what you needed to know for your highest good.
Yeah, I
So
did.
if it involves that question, then I guess that would fall in the category because they're
Okay.
like, okay, well, we're gonna give this to you anyways, because okay, 3 cards. Okay, one more. So bottom of the deck, the High Priest. Now, there's a couple cards in this deck that are different than what's in the original deck. So those are not a part of this. Like this would be the Hierophant. So it's the same thing. And the other cards that are different did not pop out. So but it would be the Shadow side, which would be the Devil card. Anyways, so let's see. So the bottom of the deck is the High Priest. So that shows you're learning lessons right now.
Mm.
He's giving you the keys. So you have this guy that's guiding you, teaching you things, and the way he's not going to tell you the answers,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to guide you to the answers. So you're going to get there, but he's not just going to give you to you, because then how are you going to learn? You know.
Right.
Now there's this, with this being sideways to the left. I have to look that up. This is emotional fulfillment. So if you look at it and you see like that, the happy wife,
That's
happy
one of
life,
my
happy child.
that's one of my favorite cards, actually.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
is a beautiful card. It is wish
Mm-hmm.
fulfillment. All your cups are full. Life is grand,
Mm-hmm.
right? Nothing's gonna break your stride. Nothing's gonna take you down. You know.
Yep.
So kids are playing, house in the background, just beautiful picture, but it's sideways. So like teetering. There's something that's like not blocking it, but it's like there's a reason it's not fully upright. Hold on. Like I said, I'm new to doing sideways left or right, so I actually need
Yeah.
to look that one up.
Do what you gotta do. I mean, I didn't even know you can do sideways, you know. So
I like I wasn't always in doing it like that, but just intuition, and it took over, and I just started asking those questions, and I'm like, okay, and they do have energetic meanings, left versus right too. Let me
mm-hmm.
see. Hold on. Where's
And that
ChatGPT is such a fantastic little tool.
yeah, that's something that
Um,
we learned
Turn
too,
it
is that,
sideways
there's a
to
bunch of different ways to
the
read them there.
left. What's the
Mm-hmm.
interpretation for that? Okay. Then, okay. So the down. So if it was to be reversed, it would have been dissatisfaction, not seeing the magic or joy within your life, feeling like an outsider in your family or coven, or being used as a scapegoat. So it's like in the middle. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it could tip this way and it could tip that way. The energy is slipping backward, returning in an old pattern. It's not blocked, but it's not fully upright. It's a transition leaning towards the past. So this does have to do something with your past, and I'm assuming it's probably that Queen of Cups. It's in transition, leaning towards the past, default habits, old cycles. You want emotional fulfillment. You want home, peace, finally to feel safe energetically. But something from your past is still influencing how you react or trust. It is definitely that Queen of Cups. I know what happiness looks like, but I'm not fully letting myself believe that I can keep it. You have that fear of losing what you love, not fully trusting peace when you have it, past betrayals influencing current decisions. So, wait, hold on. Is it the Queen of Cups? Hold on, wait. It could be the Queen of Cups. Hold on. I might need to clarify her. Let's see. Financial stability is coming, but you're not building it the same way you were raised or taught. Breaking ancestral patterns, but it's not smooth. Breaking generational curses, creating a new family structure, rewriting wealth and loyalty rules. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was 10 of Pentacles. Never mind. I don't know why she broke it into that. I did not say Pentacles. My bad. But if you heard that message, maybe it was meant to hear anyways. If
I
I
do
read it
love
like
some
that,
Pentacles though.
energetically, 10 of Pentacles didn't pop out, but the message came out all the same. I wonder, is this Queen of Cups the problem? Because with the Four of Wands is celebration. So the Queen of Cups, she's very nurturing, very emotional. That's a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And she's like just very loving, very affectionate. She's very home, like take care of the family, like she's very loving, giving, nature, like nurturing. She's very just in tune with her emotions. She's intuitive as well. So with, but then you have like under it is celebration, Four of Wands, and that's celebration. That's weddings, celebrating events, milestones, birth of a child. But then you have the Star reverse. Like, is this maybe a dynamic of a relationship where it's like maybe y'all both need to work on something? Hold on. There's a lot of info coming. Hold on. I'm like overloaded. Hold on. Let me down because
We'll just let you cook.
I feel like it's complicated. I feel like it's a complex thing. So yeah, celebration, rejoicing over a happy event, freedom, parties, baby, bridal showers, Sabbath celebrations, fertility, creativity, freedom of expression. But then the Star pops up and the Star's in reverse. So it's very tit for tat energy. It feels like it's very confusing.
Well, I will say, if you don't mind, like
ahead.
there's a lot like in the balance right now. My wife is actually just about to finish school, and so we're like both of us are trying to push through this time, and so it's like it can go either way. And then of course, if she graduates and we are able to make more money, and then there would be cause for celebration. And so I mean, you're really hitting on a lot of stuff. So I just thought I'd clarify that for you.
I would thank you because I was like, it's not a woman from the past. He's still like you're with this person. That's what I was feeling. I was like,
it's my wife.
Person. Yeah, so your wife. That makes sense. So I was
yeah,
like, you'll have it. So y'all are gonna be celebrating. Probably her coming from school, but maybe something like else. You're gonna multiple celebrations. Like maybe another baby can come from it, or just other things that would lead to a celebration because of her finishing school, getting the career out of it. And you know what I'm saying? Like other milestones from that.
Yeah.
Let me see.
When you said milestones, I was like, oh, like her graduating would be like an ultimate. And we were just talking about that today, I believe, as far as the day that she graduated high school to the year that she graduated high school as opposed to the year that she's going to be graduating college. It's like 2 decades, in between. And so it was just like
that's
this
lining up. That's synchronized.
And,
I love that.
And the thing that I told her was like, well, it took a while, but like we decided we wanted a family. And so we did that first, and so now you're working on yourself, and we're working as a team and really trying to make it happen, and trying to build, our situation into a better one. And as far as like the generational curses, like that tracks as well. Cause I mean, her and I both kind of came from, poor families, and so now my kids are going to be able to experience like abundance,
healthy
like
family dynamic. Hell yeah. So the issue I think is what's connected to, because being that the Queen of Cups is upright and the Four of Wands is upright, that's good. But the Star in the reverse is what's tilting the Ten of Cups. So this is pessimism, delay, doubt, spiritual blocks. This is allowing fear to get hold. So if she's having doubts, or if she's overstressed about something and she's so just worried, because if she's expecting this track to hit a date, and let's say something happens to where it may not be that date. Now, I'm not saying that that's what that is, but maybe she's fearing that just like she don't want her to manifest it.
Right.
She needs to stop being so hard on herself.
Absolutely.
She is her worst critic.
Yep.
And it's like, you're you're her cheerleader. You're like, no, babe, like
Mhm.
you're a goddess. You're the smartest person I've ever met. You
Yep.
know, like you could do a million great things, but she's not. So she might need to do some shadow work
Mhm.
so she can get rid of that negative talk. Because, and one of the things that somebody had said a while back, that I'd heard, and I was like, oh, that's genius. So whenever she's going through those moments of negative talk, she'd be like, whenever you hear those thoughts, is it your voice? It's not. It's never
Mhm.
your voice. It's
Right.
always the voice of the people who put you down throughout life. And
Mhm.
whenever people click on that, it helps with the negative self-talk.
Yep.
She can always like write it down on paper too,
Mhm.
burn it and release it. That
Right.
helps a lot too. So,
Mhm.
but it's not like, now, granted, like I don't think it's going to be tilted to where y'all are going to be miserable because of her, you know, having just doubts or whatever, and she's just like, is this worth it? Is it gonna work? Am I
Mhm.
making the wrong decision? Tell her that, even, let's just say, even if, okay, you do the schooling, you get through, you graduate college, you go into that field for a little while, and then all of a sudden 10 years later you realize that you switched and you never really went to what you went to college. That happens a lot.
Mm.
Like when I went to college in the medical field, I did the work. I got jobs afterwards, but I learned that I really wanted to own a metaphysical shop and run a witch sanctuary in the long
Mhm.
run. That has
Right.
nothing to do with the medical field. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
tell her, just no matter what she's doing, she's on the right path.
For
And
sure.
this directly affects you and comes out in your reading because she is like your world. She is a
Mhm.
part of your world. She's part of your energy,
Yeah.
and it syncs together and kind of affects you, and you affect her energetically and in ways. So it's like coming out.
Mhm.
So, because it's like happy wife, happy life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like she's happy,
Mhm.
you're happy, everybody's happy.
That's it.
And I get a sense too. I want to pull another card just to clarify, because with the events, I keep wanting to reference a new child in the future because of the Ten of Cups energy.
Okay,
Shows
well, hold on now.
multiple
Hold on.
children in the back. And
No,
this
go for it.
also
Go for it.
is another representation of children.
Mhm.
So it may
Well,
be a new
she
addition.
has said that she has always wanted to adopt, and so that might be something in the future as well. Who
Yeah. No,
knows?
it doesn't always have to be the birth of a new child from her body,
Mhm.
but it is a new addition, and that child will have to be born.
Right.
So, but I do get the sense, I keep wanting to reference back, a child will come from this um celebration
Mhm.
of this milestone, like
Mhm.
coming from like the success of wherever she's headed in life,
Yeah.
that a child will come from this. So I want to pull and see if there's any more clarification, and then I still feel the need to pull from the T deck real quick. um
She goes really in depth. I like it.
the moon reverse, something's hidden. There's where the T's coming in. Okay. Something's hidden. Something's hidden. What is hidden? What is hidden? I feel like, oh, there it is. So the reverse for the moon is confusion, deception, deceit, anxiety, fear. That can still boil into the
Mhm.
star reverse. But the reason I keep so eager to pull from the T deck is because I feel like there's that nugget. There's something, I don't know what it is or what it's connected to right yet, but there's something that's confusing, something that's trying to. Okay, who has a weird obsessive ex? Anyone trying to sabotage?
I doubt that.
I
No.
have a couple of them, I guess.
I was gonna say.
Y'all don't have an none, like neither of y'all have an ex that's weird, right? Like that you're aware of. Because remember, we pulled the moon, so this is secret energy.
Well, what's
One of
funny
you.
is, and weird that you say that, because that weird X that you're referring to, it's actually, if it's about me, I don't know. I'm not trying to make everything all about me, but it's actually her birthday today.
What?
Yeah.
No, this is, I was pulling for his energy specifically, but I'm gonna get to you, Jonathan, unless like I want to say, am I interfering in his energy? But normally when I call on a specific energy, it's channeled to that specific person. So The only reason the wife pops up is because they're a unit. So it's an ex. Maybe one of your exes. You don't have any crazy exes from before?
I don't have any exes. Like, my wife is my first love.
Are you her first?
No.
Then it could be. It's either okay, it says lover, so it had to have been somebody that she would have been intimate with. The only other thing I can think of is if that maybe you have a dedicated viewer that envisions you as a lover. That's the only way I can see that dynamic being into
Can't
you.
imagine.
That you don't know this person on that level. You never have, because you stated that your wife is the one and only, which is so beautiful, by the way. Which makes it definitely more intimate in the soul bond. But you could have a stalker as far as like a fan, because the reason I say that is because groupie popped out, and what is that? That's a hardcore fan, right? So if it's not her ex, because it's giving female, like there's two women, there's women. That's all I see is women. So it could be some woman that follows this thing, and I bet you if she's watching this, because if she is, she's dedicated. She's watching every episode. She'd be like, she's on to me. I see you. She's obsessed. She's obsessed with you. Like, so she may.
I didn't even think I had fans, so I'm just happy I got one. I got a fan.
Well,
yeah.
You could be excited, but you don't want to feed into her ego, because she's gonna. If she hasn't shown herself yet, she will. Like, so worry about that, because I feel like this energy.
Worry about it. Oh man. Okay.
Be suspicious, because there's going to be a psycho fan that comes through. She's going to and it could turn into one of those things where she's got a shrine of you in her room, and she's trying to manifest that you and your wife break up, and divorce. So she could be with you, or she's going to be a groupie, a super fan. So if she hasn't already logged into being a fan now, she will soon become a fan and be like a hyper fan. You know what I'm saying? Like the type to write you letters, in fan mail, that's upset, sending you locks of her hair, that kind.
Oh wow!
Shout out to the.
All right, good to know. Good to know.
Beware of that. But I mean, I see though, as long like the pessimism thing, I feel like y'all are gonna knock that out of the park, and it's just gonna upright. Because I don't see it.
I feel that too.
See this.
Yeah, I feel that too.
And then they can flip upright as well.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's been. I really try to just, there's times where I, just kind of get out of the way and let her do what she's got to do, and then there's other times where I really try to, help motivate her. And what's funny is because some of that rubs off, and I think, within her little friend group, it's at school, she's that for them, and right. So it's kind of like emanating outwardly. And so yeah, no, I, as far as the card turning upright, like I already feel that. Like I feel like it's already a knowing. Like that's where we are going with that.
Right. Just do
I have no doubts.
Shadow work with her, just kind of pinpoint where this negative self-talk comes from, so she can learn how to properly heal that side of her, so that she no longer manifests it into her reality, or like has the threat of it manifesting into her reality. And honestly, if you don't know like where to start, ChatGPT is great with that. Any AI tool is really
she already uses ChatGPT like for school and everything else. So yeah, she's very familiar with that. And once she gets through with school and gets into her field and everything's good to go, like I can see it even a mushroom trip in the future. You know what I mean? So
she can
that's happening.
But I highly recommend, like, on her downtime, like, during the school session, so it doesn't bog her down.
Yeah.
She can do that release of do the shadow work. And ChatGPT will definitely do prompts, questions, everything. As long as you're wording everything right and it doesn't go against policy.
Right. Oh, for sure. For
it's a solid tool.
Yeah, she can be her own biggest critic, though, and really have some of that negative speak, but,
Hey,
we're going to get through it.
She's a water sign, right? Or she's got it in her chart.
Earth sign.
Earth sign. Okay, so it's in her chart.
Right.
She's got to have, it's got to be in her big three but it's in her natal chart somewhere.
Awesome.
But Earth does hold water, so it's
yeah,
kind of
makes sense. Yeah.
Well, I
makes
will
sense.
say
That's
this
great.
too, as far as, you know, her support system, Sean is like the most supportive man to a wife that there has ever been. Like,
I
just
feel that. I
appreciate
can
that.
feel that.
so
That's such a
supportive,
beautiful thing, though.
so
And
loyal.
that's where that obsessive lover's coming into handy too, where she's gonna pop in because she's gonna know that.
Mm,
She's like, I want
okay.
that. Instead
Okay.
of getting it on her own, she's gonna be like, I want him.
Never
You know,
mind.
like
Sean
Yeah.
beats his wife. He beats her
Yeah.
all the time.
I need to act like a jerk on here a little bit more, I
I
think.
hate her. No, I love you, honey. Like,
Well, I appreciate that.
Awesome.
That was very in depth. I didn't even
I
realize,
hope
you know,
it-
you can go into that depth with a tarot reading. That's really impressive.
Oh, I can go deeper. Like I
I'm
can
sure
go
you
way
could.
deeper.
No, I'm impressed.
I have to
You were
actually
saying so many
tell
key words
people.
in there. I had to like jump in and be like,
I love
wow.
though that you did because I was like confused. I was like, no, this energy is so all
No,
over
it
the
was
place.
making total sense to me. So that's why I was like, let me just help you out a little bit because I was like, wow,
Yeah.
impressive.
You know, I was
I
thinking
even have
that
to
same
tell
thing
people,
too.
like, if I read for couples or whatever, I'm like if I'm reading for a couple, I don't do that anymore. But when I was like, okay, so if y'all have y'all got any secrets, you better let them out now because I'm gonna rat you
We're
out.
going there. We're going there.
We're
That's
going deep, buddy. If Spirit want to say you cheating and know you're cheating, honey. Like I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it by any means.
funny.
You know,
That's great. See,
Oh
I would
my
be terrible at
goodness.
that because I would be trying to sugarcoat it. You know, I'd be like, you know, something maybe not good. Like I wouldn't be able to just be like, look, this is what's going on. You know,
Well,
I'd be trying to beat around the bush.
Too heavy, if it's too heavy, like I'll word it in a way where I'm like, come on, are you
Put the
picking up what I'm
breadcrumbs
putting
down,
down?
right? Yeah.
Right. I'm like, so
That's
there's
funny.
this like this energy with this, and maybe there was some, you know, like come on, like figure it out, you know. I'm
Well,
leaving crumbs for you, bud.
Yeah.
look,
Kind of like a
Destiny,
guide would, right?
Destiny, if you would you mind pulling a one-carder for the show? You know, normally at the end of every show, we like to pull a one card. Sometimes two pop out, and that's all right. But typically, you know, it's part of the tradition over here. Would you mind doing that?
And I pulled one
Yeah.
earlier, so I'll let you know. It would just be really interesting if it was the same one for
If it lined up,
for this episode. You know, the energy of this episode in particular.
Let's go, dude.
I love it. Okay.
And if it's wrong, I just won't say anything. You know,
It's not wrong.
I'll
It's not
just-
gonna be you pulled
yeah.
the card. It's just part of the message. Hold on. Let me make sure. I really probably should have done this before I started reading because typically I cleansed it recently, but typically I try. Look how worn that is. How often I use it. Typically I like to like reset the deck to all upright, you know, but it really, if they want to pop out the right way, they will. But I feel pulled to do this very quickly. Hold on.
And I pulled the card that I pulled like maybe 20 or 30 minutes into the episode.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
It's
So
been just
energy.
sitting here.
Stewing.
be
All
cool.
right. Cool. So, Spirit, y'all could have told me to do this before.
Yeah, that's on us. That's our bad. We'll,
Oh,
we'll
no.
take
That
that.
was like that's all Spirit. They could have told me to do this.
I thought you were talking to us.
Let's see. That one.
We are the
okay.
spirit. We're actually not even here.
Yeah.
So
You
what?
thought we were physical?
Dude, the old ones
And
are
then
back. Okay.
The illusion is real. All right.
Even if we don't have time, Jonathan, and it's like after the show, I can still do a pull for you if you would like.
Oh yeah, he's getting that.
Because I know you love the reading I did for you recently.
I always love your
He
readings.
needs it. He needs it.
He got a
can
really
feel
good
it.
reading the other day.
He needs another one.
That was a
Another.
pretty lit reading. Like, and I'm hoping it's kind of echoing what I did the other day as far as because it had to do with the show.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
almost
Hold
done.
on, Destiny. Just so you know, that's a secret. I don't want to say that. All right, like the.
It was good.
No,
it had
I know.
a lot of razzle dazzle.
No, I know it's really good. It's a good secret, but it's gonna be something that we're gonna start talking about in like 2 weeks. I just don't want to say it yet.
Oh, I already forgot about that part. I'm just saying I gotta go look up and see what you mean. I'm just saying it was a good reading in
Oh,
general.
okay,
The energy,
sure.
the
All right.
vibe was good.
You forgot? That's all right. Let it slip.
That's how I'm good at keeping secrets. I don't always remember. Okay. Let's see. So we're asking about the show, or do you have a person?
Well, you can either pull one for this specific episode, or you can just pull one for meta in general.
We typically do one for this episode. Just kind of the vibe of the episode. Dude, I'll trip out if it's the same card. I'm just saying.
No pressure.
Then I'll know for a fact that, like, you know, I mean, even if not, it's still a clarifier, I think, but still.
One. So that's good. Let me pull personal.
What was it? 9 of Wands, you said?
Ace.
Oh.
Not the same one. That's okay.
Bottom of the deck, 9 of Swords. Stress. Somebody's overthinking. Or a drama queen kind of thing. But this is just keeping you up at night. Thoughts keeping you up at night. Stressing. Overthinking a situation. So Ace of Wands is a very beautiful, potent card. That's like new beginnings. Let's see. Oh, I have acid reflux out of nowhere. Yay! All right, let me see. So it's like new beginnings. It's like just creative energy. It's a very male, like it's masculine energy for sure. Very potent, very just intense. So we have, let's see, creativity, courage, optimism, ambition, career, business, positive starts, a birth or transformation, maybe a new home, hard work, turning ideas into a successful reality, and the element of fire.
Like
Let's see. They do want me to express, like, because even though it didn't come in the reverse, they want to tap into not always being able to see the happiness right in front of you. So it's kind of like not how do I want to word that? It's not like being able to sit down and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, more, I gotta work harder. Like, no, sit back and enjoy it. Like you don't understand how good you're doing. You don't understand how, you know, first of all, it's part of the process where you're at versus where you're good. Because you remember, okay, thank you. They were like, tell him this. But remember, you prayed or manifested one point in time to be exactly where you are now.
Wow.
Yes.
So now that you're in this moment and you kind of like, you're so lost up and caught up in just life and wanting to push for better, you forgot that once upon a time you wished where you wanted to be where you are now.
Yeah.
So it's just taking a step back and just appreciating like how far you've come, you know, in all aspects. So let's see.
The show has come a long way. I will say that.
That was like the show and a personal in that one. But then for you, also, I pulled the Justice card. This is a personal one for you. This could be a potential court case coming for whatever reason, legal wise, something that could pop up. Also, it's getting justice for a situation. The scales are going to balance out for you, or you're going to receive the justice for a situation that was unfair in the moment. But it needed to play out that way for karma to set in for the parties it needed to set in for. So you're going to get your justice for a situation, whether it's obvious right now, it will be. So, but if it's a situation that's going to be coming up, you know, like you're going to get the proper justice for that. So also interesting enough too, I know that these aren't the same readings, but when I pulled the Hierophant earlier, that also means seeking out legal advice. And I know it's for his reading, but I just think that's funny. You know, maybe that because y'all are doing the show together, it might tie in somehow.
Well, this is part of the secret that I can't talk about. So I'm just letting you know that like you're hitting on all cylinders.
As usual, I'm going to have to go back into our messages and peep it, though.
All good things, by the way. It's nothing bad or anything like that.
So it's working in your favor.
Yes, 100%.
But I definitely think that, like, like since they were like, remember the Hierophant? And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, so they're doing a show together because like him and his wife are in tandem on that energy, and then him and him are in tandem on this show. Okay, so it's all tied in together.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a giant
So
spiritual
Usually
orgy.
does.
it's good, and I can't wait to not only see it happen, but like be a guest of being kind of like as a guest being a part of it. So I look forward to that.
Oh, you're coming back for sure.
We appreciate you
better be.
coming on here, being a part of this, because it's
I love
happening
it.
now in real time.
I loved it. I love it. I can't wait.
It is. Sean, what was that card that you pulled, good sir?
I got the 5 of Wands.
Oh, arguments, fights, disputes.
Does it?
It's
I
among
actually
different
thought that they
people.
were like, are they arguing? Because
Mhm.
I was looking at this earlier and I was like trying to interpret what exactly is going on. Are they working as a team? Are they not? Are they?
No,
Yeah.
that's like arguments, but it's with more than one person.
Mm,
Kind of arguments with amongst like coworkers, colleagues, friends, stuff like that. Just other people that have difference of opinion,
mhm.
jealousy. Why does this sound like kind of part of Jonathan's other reading I did for him in private? You remember that?
You need to calm it down, Destiny.
I'm just saying. I'm not giving it away. I'm just saying the jealousy is there. For some aspect. Oh, there's a download. I don't know if I should say that out loud or if I should wait until
After the
you
show. After the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll with it.
Okay.
Is it bad or what?
It's the jealousy thing.
Okay.
How can I word it without being too obvious? You took all the good luck, kind of, is how the view is going to be. And mad that one thing is going to go up while the other one drops down.
Yeah.
And mad about it because how the energy is now replicated there, it's just the energy is going to, the vibration will drop.
Say less.
And
I got you.
yeah, I think you got it. I'll be flat out after, but yeah, you know what I mean.
I think he's picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You smell what I'm cooking.
It's actually a fear of mine that happens that way, but hopefully it doesn't.
If anything, it's kind of karmic because the energy is weird, and we know that. We talked about it. So it's like kind of with the negative tone coming from that aspect, it's going to be a karmic kickback for that. But that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, it's all divine timing, don't question it kind of thing. But yeah, and honestly, for the one that are listening out there, it's like we're not trying to be cryptic. It's just that I can't say anything for a couple of more weeks. Otherwise, I absolutely would. And like I said, all good things, nothing to worry about. It is something to look forward to, not something to be worried about. So yeah, it's all good shit. So Destiny, of course you're fucking tapped into all of it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you are. It's just crazy.
I was impressed when she was saying certain things and like she was trying to figure it out. I already knew exactly what she was trying to figure out, and I was like, oh man, so clear.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Fascinating.
Thank you.
Destiny, if you would, could you let everybody out there know where they can find you? Maybe you have an email you want to give out or social media or anything like that. Anybody wants to reach out for a reading potentially?
Oh, I'm doing a special. I haven't gotten down to like the exact perfect point of the special, but I don't know, first 5 people that book a reading with me, I don't know, within the next 48 hours or so, I'll do a special deal of some sort and I'll surprise you. So cuz like my readings will range from like 20 to 60. I actually do more of a sliding scale on that typically, but for a basis. So we'll do like a special deal or something like buy one get one free BOGO. I don't know, something, but it'll be a special deal. So you can find me on TikTok at Dezi DEZY.K, or is it .K? I want to say maybe, I don't know. I have to double check on that one. Let me see.
We'll put it in the link.
Yeah, we'll double check on the link. You can find me on Instagram, Dezi K89. Again, I'm gonna have to verify all these because I'm not like I don't memorize it for some reason. Destiny King on Facebook, It's a picture of me and my boyfriend, so we'll do the URL for that one as well. And I don't have any official website yet. Oh, I have a link tree. Again, I gotta look that one up. And I'll send it to you, but you can find me on Linktree too. So just DM me, just say, hey, I want a reading, and we'll go from there.
All right. To confirm, it is Desi.K on TikTok.
All right.
I believe so. Hey, babe. He's got a telephone going.
Look.
Look up my TikTok handle. Look up my TikTok handle.
Yeah, I just did. That's what it is.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Never mind, babe.
All right. Well, yeah, either way, look, we're going to put it all down in the show notes for anybody that wants to be able to reach out to you, maybe come for a reading. Obviously, the readings tonight were very intuitive, very connected, and there's just something really special about that, and it's these kind of people that you want in your corner. You want a good witch in your corner, like you never know if you're going to fall on hard times. Maybe you got something that you just can't really figure out. Dude, the witches can see right through that shit. That's just what they're good at,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
And I have good intentions, so I can't speak on other witches, but I know my intentions are pretty good.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Destiny, for coming to hang out. This was a really fun one, dude.
Thank you for having me. I've had so much fun.
Oh yeah, we'll have you back again. I'm sure.
There's no doubt about that.
Be back.
Well, look, typically at the end of every episode, we like to do a little meditation. You don't have to join if you don't want to. Normally it's like a little 10 or 15-minute meditation. We listen to, maybe it's a guided meditation or some 432 hertz kind of stuff. Really, and then we'll just like kind of shoot the shit, see what maybe we experienced in that moment. It's a fun time, but I know that we've already kept you like way longer than we said that we were going to, but if you want, you're more than welcome to join.
Yeah. I mean, I might get up and get it like a snack or something. So my cat should be in the, nope, none of them are there. Okay. One of them will pop up, but I'll be in the vicinity and then I'll just come right back with my snack. So
perfect. All right. Well, Sean, any parting words for you, good sir?
Oh man, I'm just, like I said, I'm impressed. I find it very fascinating when somebody is doing what they do, and then certain moments where she's like, oh, I just yeah, thank you, like you're catching these little hints or little downloads or little winks from the universe, whatever you want to call it, that is happening there. I find that very fascinating, and I would love to be able to tap into whatever is going on there. That's just, yeah.
I can help with that.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna have to have you come back, and maybe you can teach us that, because I feel like that's very, very awesome to just be able to be like, oh,
I have to tell y'all how I opened my third eye.
Oh right, yeah, we'll be here.
Nice little shout out there. Well, look, yeah, we're going to get over that meditation, but we do want to say, if you want to be able to join in on the conversation, it's always a very fun, exciting, surprise guest, a lot of intuitive kind of stuff that's coming. Sometimes it's witchy, sometimes it's magic-y, sometimes it is woo-woo, sometimes it's spiritual. We're here for all of that shit, baby. And, just trying to totally engulf ourselves in mysticism. That's what the show is all about. So if you like these kind of conversations and you want to be able to join us every Wednesday night, then come over to patreon.com/metamystics. That link is down in the show notes below. We have several different tiers over there. We actually have a $3 tier that will allow you to get all of the shows days in advance, completely commercial free. You'll be able to slide into our DMs and just become part of the community. But if you want to be able to join for the live shows, you get all of that plus the live shows. And so that, I believe, is $888. That's the magic number we got for that tier. So if you want to come check it out and support the show, and maybe you find this information valuable, show a little love, and come join the conversation. That's what we want. That's why we do these live shows, is so we can kind of have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different hosts going on all at one time, because we all have that curiosity inside of us that maybe I might not ask the question that you would ask. And so it's just more of a group effort. It's all one thing
great.
Baby.
It's great. I look forward to these nights. I got to tell you, man, I'm becoming like, I need my Wednesdays. That's just how it is.
For sure. And next Wednesday, Optimistic Banks is back.
Yes,
so that'll be a fun one.
Of course, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, go ahead and check those links down in the show notes below if you want to go and find Destiny, or if you want to go and sign up on Patreon. That link is those links are all down below. But I think we're gonna get over to that meditation now. But if Destiny came here and she taught you anything, it's that you don't know what you don't know. So don't just get weird.
Stay weird.
That was a solid one. Yeah, I got some pretty cool visuals.
Did you?
Yeah, I kind of just I mean exactly what she was describing, just kind of like being inside of a crystal cave and then laying your head on a moonstone covered in moss, and it sounded nice.
Yeah.
He's a fan of that. It's so interesting, dude, because as soon as you start to play into what you're seeing into your mind, it almost comes alive. You know,
there was something about the voice too. Like she had like some wisdom, and she was like guiding you through that. I don't know, something about that voice was nice.
Very calming. Yeah, that's our first time we're going to that channel. What was that again?
Yeah, let's remember that one.
Lisa Watley. I'm gonna subscribe to that one. Too.
Subscribe, like, and subscribe, dude. All right.
Let me send a like over there too.
Yeah.
There we go.
As well.
But yeah, that was solid, dude. Especially tonight being full moon, and
yeah, dude, there's something really mystical when it's like a legit full moon. Like when I went outside earlier, it was already like maybe, I don't know, maybe 25% up off of the horizon, and so it was still kind of like a little bit appeared bigger, you know, and which is really weird how that happens. You know, like it's the same size at the horizon as it is when it's up higher in the sky, but it just looks so much bigger when it's lower. But yeah, it's just so mystical looking at that.
Yeah, like
just like that's just out there, you know.
I know,
just part of this thing,
dude. So being out here in Lake Havasu, at like the way the moon comes up, it's like it's coming up behind the mountains, and whenever it gets to a certain point, it literally looks like it's being cradled by the mountains.
By the mountain,
is freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
No, I'm not in Louisiana anymore. I moved to Texas like a year and a half or so ago, like right around Houston. And now I'm actually out in Arizona just temporarily, and then I'll be moving back to Houston. Yeah.
So you moved over here thinking, oh, we're going to get together, do the shroom thing. You're just not even in the same state.
I mean, no, I still come out to Louisiana every 2 weeks, though.
Oh, cool. Okay. Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But either way, hey, dude, Houston's only a little road trip away. It ain't that far.
I know. I need to get a vehicle.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, did you meditate, Destiny?
I can't. I have to do a meditation a certain way.
Everybody's different that way.
How do you meditate?
It's different. Originally how I used to meditate, and it's not recommended, but I was like heavy drinker, and but like when if I get the right buzz, like I'm right there, my inhibitions go away. I can calm this down a lot more. And there's this, I'm not usually good with guided meditations because I don't know why. It's just too much noise for me. But sometimes there's that one or two. And I found this one guided meditation, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, like in comparison to the professional ones, it was like poor recording quality in comparison. But something happened. Like I was meditating and I could feel like the angelic beings like next to me. And I felt like I was in the universe, like just floating and spinning like on those like display spinners, you know. It was so cool. And I was so mad when I was coming back down. I was like, no, stay here.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Anytime you can get the spins going, I mean, sign
pretty
me
much.
up.
It was slow. It was very slow, but it felt like I was floating. It was really, really cool. And mind you, I wasn't like plastered or anything. It was a moderate buzz. So I was just enough to get the inhibitions to go away because there was a lot of stress in my life at the time. Nothing's changed stress-wise, just it's different stress. But it just helped me meditate to just stop caring about everything else. At the time.
Plus you're living in Louisiana. I mean, taking a shot of Fireball for breakfast is like common, you know.
Pretty much. I need whiskey to help me through this, but yeah, like I don't know, like I have to. Well, you can meditate with damn near anything. So as long as you go into the state of mind, you're meditating.
Right.
So sometimes it just depends. I'll use classical music or hell, sometimes Kevin Gates gets me in the mood. Like, you
Hey.
know what I'm saying? Like, but
Saturday
for the most part,
nights.
if it doesn't have words, I'm good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
it'll send you there regardless. I mean, and that's the thing, dude. You don't even have to be sitting down to meditate. You can take a walk through the woods, or walk around the neighborhood or whatever, and
Down,
just
walk, sit, whatever.
take
As
yourself
long as
there.
you're comfortable. Ooh, meditating in a bubble bath, top tier.
Yes, it is. I agree. A little ritual bath action.
Light
Get
some
you some
candles,
candles
dude.
going.
Yeah.
Get you some flowers in there.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's the way.
That's what I miss about my apartment. I was in that bubble bath ritually.
I can imagine. Well, all right. Well, I think this was a lot of fun, dude. And we're definitely gonna have to do it again, Destiny. So don't be a stranger,
I'm not. I was gonna, since you said you were in Houston, I'm like, so what do you feel about that Houston serial killer?
Is there a Houston serial killer now?
I think Nick mentioned it or
He's called the
something.
Bayou Butcher.
Oh shit. All right.
Yeah, 22 bodies
Oh.
Damn. All right.
found
well.
in a bayou around the Houston area. Like there was the Lady Bird Lake killer in Austin. They're not acknowledging him as a serial killer or the person as a serial killer, but I get it. You don't want to tip him off. But there's a video on TikTok I saw of this cute little girl. She was like, when I say little, like she looked like she's in her early 20s, but she was like, I guess walking under this causeway or whatever. And the police were there because they found a body and right by where she was walking. And there was this other guy that was there that was not police or whatever. And this was crazy. She was like, they were talking about it, and she was like, yeah, they pulled up another body. He was like, yeah, I know, it's crazy, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's not where I left them.
Oh, what?
You said, what, sir? Like, yeah, like that sounded like a Freudian slip. Like he didn't mean to, but he got caught up in it. He was like, I don't know why they're pulling up here when I didn't leave them there. Like,
yeah,
officer, get him. Like, he's right there.
Get him.
Yeah.
But then he tried to turn it around and he was like, oh no, I thought you were the killer. I'm like, look at that girl. She's so freaking cute walking minding her business. You know she's not the killer. He tried to double down and I'm like, oh, we see you, sir. We see you. So people have been doing snapshots in the comments. They're like, we got him, like, but
I don't be walking around. I don't be walking around in Houston anyway. Man, I'm not with all that. I'm going to be moving out there. I'm getting a house out there. But not in Houston. It's going to be like North Houston on the outskirts, kind of out in the country, which that's what I'm all about. I can't stand being in the city, dude.
That makes sense to the vision that I had, actually.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Like, it might line up with that way. Like, at least within the vicinity, Like, oh, I don't know if y'all would be interested for the next time, but speaking of, like, serial killers, did I tell you about the cold case through the spirit box that I was doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to channel one of the poor girls that her body was just found in Houston. I'm gonna see if I can't channel her, and maybe we can try to figure out who the killer is.
You know what's funny too is that Sean, I think it was like last week sometime, you were like, you know what, we got to get somebody on here with a spirit box.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yep.
Look, I'm like literally just.
Necrophonic. That's
I don't have any
hilarious.
professional gear, but this thing is legit.
All right. Well, I guess we know what our next show is going to be about then.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, all right. Well,
And
look,
then tell him about my cold case thing afterwards.
we'll do. Yeah. Look, we're just going to wrap up the regular show and then we can talk about the things we couldn't talk about, after. So, we love you and we'll see you on the flip side.
Bye, guys.